Welcome to the Ace Podcast, where we talk all things art, culture, and entertainment, but more specifically pop culture and entertainment. I am your regular host, Will the Greatest, and with me I have my regular co-host, the real Aaron Alexander. How are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing well, doing swell, doing grand. Yeah, feeling good, man. We're recording this on a Friday. Yeah, it's been a good day. Life is taking an upswing. Been going through it since the last time we recorded. So I am actually feeling good today, feeling at peace. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing well. I'm doing very good, despite being very busy with a lot of positive life stuff, but a lot of time and demanding life stuff. I'm doing well.
Okay, good. Happy to hear it.
Yeah, starting to finally catch up on some rest, but it's been busy. But I'm sure whoever's listening is wondering where we've been for the last 3 months.
Oh, man.
What do we want to explain?
Okay, let's give a quick recap.
Yeah,
Let's see.
because I think our last episode was April.
April, damn. Shit.
Was it April or May? It might have been May.
Yeah, because I think we recorded one after you came back. After you came to visit me.
Yes, it was after that.
Yeah. Okay. So, had some car trouble, got into a relationship, we braved some storms together of life.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a little social cocoon or antisocial cocoon for a little bit as I was dealing with stuff that was just getting thrown left and right, trials and tribulations. But yeah, coming out of that season, about to enter almost literally a new season and a new month, I'm back and I feel rejuvenated. Got my wheels again. I didn't have a car for like a month and a half. Yeah, we back. We up, baby. Yeah, man. What about you? What's going on in you the last 3 months?
It's been good stuff. It's just been busy. I was at DreamCon in Houston. I met RDC World and Meg and Dominic Thorne and Zena Robinson, and ran into friend of the show, Nicholas Draper Ivy, dope ass artist, best in the game. Go check out Static Batman Beyond when that drops. I think in September or in a couple months. And then I was in Vegas for a professional event. That went well. And then it was just a bunch of stuff. Fiance and I moved in together recently, so that was busy. And then immediately after that, I was doing rehearsals for another short that I filmed with a frequent collaborator of mine over at CETA Film Productions. So hopefully that'll be doing well. And one of the shorts I'm in it's going to be in 2 festivals, which is cool. I still haven't seen it, mind you. And I have no dialogue in it, which is even funnier. So it's just like I have a character poster. My name is on like the title and everything. I don't speak, but it's like, hey, I'll take it. So I'm wishing that director the best. Yeah, it's just been stuff after stuff after stuff. Trying to catch shows and movies and things in between it all. So it's all good stuff. It's just a lot. But it's like I'm overall happy and fulfilled. It's just like trying to find time to be a human being. Amongst all that, I managed to find time to get a retwist finally this past weekend. Yeah, I did.
Nice. I was gonna say, yeah, the retwist is looking fresh.
I appreciate it. I got it right before I had to shoot. I'm like, yeah, no, I need to do this shit now. Because my scalp was tired. It had been too many months.
I feel you, bro. I'm trying to get mine next week.
Listen. But yeah, no, it's been good stuff. It's just life has been busy. I know you and I talked in more explicit detail about how life has been off the show, and that's not for the people that listen to this to know. But I was like, brother, I just want to make sure you're good.
Yeah, nah.
I got worried for a second. I'm like, hey man, you good?
Yeah, I hadn't been our group chats too much, and just been sporadic with communication and whatnot. So I appreciate you for checking in.
Yeah, of course, man. It's all love on this side. I guess before we hop into, because there's been a lot of shit. I know for sure there's definitely some things that we won't get to that also came out. Yeah, we were talking about some horror movies that came out. Like, what was it? There was like Bring Her Back was one. Together was one that we had talked about.
Yeah.
There's another one what was the other one that came out that we had talked about? Weapons was another one that was really interesting. So it's like horror's in a good spot. I watched Megan 2. That was good. But is there anything you want to... Yeah, Megan 2 was fun. I don't know what people's stink was with it. But anything you want to plug before we hop into the topics?
Things going well at Real Rejects. Designed some shirts that are out now. I just had a Wednesday design that just dropped.
Oh shit.
Yeah, there's a Superman design and working on some other stuff. But yeah, go check out the videos, Bro Rejects. Some fun stuff's on the horizon. Just watched this show that I'm excited to drop called Alice in Borderlands. That shit is fucking crazy.
That's a Japanese one, isn't it?
It's a Japanese show.
Okay, I have heard of it.
Yeah, I didn't know what the premise was before I turned it on, so I'm happy that I went in blind because
Okay.
it's very interesting and like the Japanese. I mean, it's been a minute since I watched anime, but they can be ruthless sometimes. They can be ruthless sometimes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is not where at all where I thought this was going.
You just reminded me about another one that we won't get to. Squid Game 3. We didn't even talk about 2.
I haven't seen Squid Game 3. I haven't seen Squid Game since season 1.
Really?
I need to rewatch. I need to rewatch season 1 so I can just go into 2 and 3.
It's interesting. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
They make some interesting decisions, and I think at the end you'll be like, well, damn. All right, that's what we do.
Okay. Do you think there'll be a season 4?
I think they've somewhat confirmed, without giving away too much, that they are planning for an international spin-off.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
And the president for that has been established or set up within the initial.
It gets set up at the end of 3.
Fascinating.
In a relatively explicit way.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That gives me intrigued. That gives me mad intrigued. So I'll have to check that out for sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's been anything else that we're not going to talk about. I mean, I've been watching Sakamoto Days. Well, my fiance and I we've watched that together. That's a fun show. And then Panty and Stalking is finally back with season 2. This season is fucking nuts. Yeah, there's so much going on. I'm trying to think. It's like, are there any other shows I'm watching? There was something I saw recently, some anime. I'm getting back in it. I know Kaiju number 8 second season is out. There's another fucking show. Well, anyways, it'll come back to me. Anyways, you want to get into these topics?
Yeah, I'm down. Let's get it.
Okay. Well, let's start with the light round. So earlier this year, 2 things that we said we would get to that we didn't get to. 2 other superhero shows. Invincible season 3, was it?
Yeah, season 3.
Season 3 of Invincible, and then season 1 of Daredevil Born Again, which is basically season 4. How did you feel about it?
I think overall I enjoyed season 3 of Invincible more than I enjoyed Daredevil Born Again, but Daredevil Born Again was still cool.
I can agree.
Not as strong as the original series, but there are definitely some things I liked about it because it's tough. You know, you have a show that's an amalgamation of 2 different creative teams' visions and trying to make it work with the tools that you have available to you. So at the end of the day, I think the product itself, the stuff that was from the new team, was really strong and was really interesting. The stuff that was from the old team could have been fleshed out a little bit more. There's some things that I was a little disappointed in.
The villain.
Like the villain, utilizing Muse, and I was like, oh, that's kind of wasted. And just how everything came together. Like the orchestration of the show, the importance of the side characters didn't seem as relevant or as poignant as they were in the original series. And the episodes that did really work were the things that utilized the stuff that we loved from that OG series, because the original creative team didn't really utilize Foggy or Karen or Frank Castle all that much. But when we do get those characters back, you really feel the history between those actors and those characters, and that's when the show is singing at its height. Wilson Fisk was a bit of a mixed bag for me. I think Vincent D'Onofrio is a fantastic actor. I think they had to alter him for this new vision because I felt like it's it's like a soft reboot, yet it is a continuation of the last stuff of the last series. So he is mayor now, but it doesn't totally track with how season 3 ended of Daredevil. But it still gets me curious as to where this new season is going to go, and it's one of the best Marvel television shows Marvel has put out. I really enjoyed the BB Report, and I felt like if this was something of the old garb of Netflix era, that would have been a little bit more dove into. But I think that was the new creative team's way of trying to get the temperature of the city and how people were feeling on
Yeah.
that. As far as Invincible goes, I also really enjoyed it. It's definitely a season that ended extremely strongly, and things are about to turn
Man.
the
God.
fuck up. Things are about to turn the fuck up for next go round. Mark's not playing around anymore. He got his ass whooped 2 episodes in a row.
Yep.
R.I.P. Rexplode. Um,
Ooh. I
it was
can't wait for
just
us
it
to
was
move out of here and get our lives together. I'm like, oh yeah, I forget he dies.
yeah, that's
Motherfucker's
not
dead
good
as a
where you're going.
doornail. He started having hopes and dreams.
No, don't do that. Don't do that on the cusp of a disaster. Anything with
Yeah.
that. But yeah, I think it's funny because I feel like because I was watching both of those shows for Real Rejects at the same time, and it was crazy just watching the contrast. And I felt like at first it's funny because my complaints in the earlier half of the season were like, okay, we're dealing with like this relationship stuff, and then the stakes. Some of the individual episodes in a vacuum were really strong, but I was like,
Mm,
given the context of how season 2 ended, I feel like we're really lollygagging, knowing the stakes that are fucking out there that are about to come to Earth, and
right.
the show knows that. And so by the time you get to the last 2 episodes, you're like, oh, this is what happens when you fuck around and you're not taking those threats as seriously or as urgently as you need to. If you're not gonna fuck with them, they're for sure gonna fuck with you. And I
Yep.
really appreciated Robin Kirkman and the creative team at Amazon for doing that and bringing something exciting and shocking and anxiety-inducing, scary, and very bloody into my sphere. I have not read the comics, so I don't know where the story continues to go. So yeah, I think
Yep.
that of the 2 comic book shows, Amazon's Invincible is definitely the stronger of the 2, but I still had a good time with Daredevil, just not as an amazing time as I wanted. And I feel like part of that's on me because I rewatched Daredevil 1, 2, and 3
You
and
did.
Punisher. The level of in-depth character drama and the action and the heart and woes of that show. I feel like that's not the type of series that would, not that it wouldn't work in an MCU, but I don't think that's the type of show that they're interested in. So
Mm.
they kind of retrofit it for a different type of story structure or story presentation. But yeah, that's how I felt about it. How did you feel about the 2 seasons, man?
I think we're pretty much in lockstep on these, aside from maybe some minor details. Like I think starting with Daredevil, it was good. It was exciting. It was something nice to look forward to week to week. I think the it's a little bit, I guess, for comparison's sake, like years back when we talked about Lovecraft Country, where it's like individually these episodes in a vacuum are pretty solid to strong, but as far as a cohesive narrative, that's where it gets a little weaker. You can definitely tell that it's a little bit stitched. So I'm glad that they're having like one uniform team. That being said, I think the ones that hit the best for me were probably like the couple of the ones with the White Tiger. I think that was handled really, really well in terms of the court things. And then the finale.
Yeah.
I did want a little bit more from like the dead end of it, but I'm intrigued. I'm invested. I'm curious to see what sort of implications this has for future things like the Punisher special presentation just for rap production. And we got shit, we didn't even really put this in the notes, but it's like we got Brand New Day, which is currently under production, and we get to, have that suit, and we know that he's going to be going up against the Punisher in a tank, apparently.
No, the Punisher has the Punisher van.
Well, there's a van and a tank.
Yeah, I don't know which one Punisher's fight
Yeah.
is in, but I know his skull's on the front of the van. And at one
Yeah.
point, Spider-Man is on the top of his van.
Yeah. So, which just for that minor aside, suit looks fantastic. Love
Oh,
it.
amazing.
Yeah. Looks
Yeah,
great.
that's best suit in the MCU, hands down, of
It's up there.
Spidey's.
Oh yeah,
Of
for
Spidey.
Spidey, yes. You gotta be specific. It's like,
Right, it's a big
yeah,
ass
no, yeah,
universe, right?
yeah, but yeah, best Spidey suit so far. Invincible, yeah, good, strong. They always flex with their fights. Things are moving along. Narrative. They are introducing something new. I'm curious to see where that thread's gonna go with Damien Darkblood.
Yeah.
But we already have confirmation that like seasons 4 and 5 are underway. I think they're recording 4 as we speak.
Okay, cool.
We also got the announcement of a game, Invincible Versus. I haven't decided if I'm going to pick it up. It depends what that fucking roster is looking like.
Is the trailer out for it? Is it gonna be a console game?
Yeah, it's a console game.
Oh, sick.
Yeah,
It's a
trailer's out.
the trailer's out.
Yeah, it came out a while
Oh,
ago.
oh, I didn't see that. It's gonna be
Yeah,
a
yeah,
fighting game.
yeah. It's a fight. This dropped a little bit after, like a month or so after season 3. It was like one of the big. I think it might have been E3, so I think it might have been May. I think
Oh
so
shit.
far we have confirmed it's like there's a couple Viltrumites for sure. Omni Man, Invincible, of course, Bulletproof, Eve, Rexplode. I think are already confirmed for the roster.
Oh wow. Okay. I wonder if there's gonna be a story mode.
I'm wondering that too. But I think it's the team that did Killer Instinct. But it looks good so far. But yeah, no, I'm definitely I'm looking forward to Invincible. It's always like nice to see as it just rolls about, see what it keeps from the story, see what it changes. But like I pulled up my handy dandy Reddit page that has the Invincible arcs. So there's they wrote it out as 8 in total. We just wrapped about arc 4. So we have another war coming. I'm not gonna tell you who and what. But yeah, we got Angstrom Levy. We already did Angstrom Levy 2. We already did Conquest. We already did Introduction of the Giant and Mr. Lou the Dragon. So we're gonna be
So I
entering the
know there's
next war phase.
a multiversal war. Is that not what we just saw with all the Invincibles, or is that not even the thing yet?
No,
That's all
it's
I
not.
know.
No, there's a without giving. Actually, I'm not gonna say what it is. There's another war coming.
Okay. All right. I respect that.
So Conquest is just the beginning. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Interesting.
And there's going to be some build up. There's going to be some changes. There's a lot. I'm just wondering how they're going to move and smooth this out. Yeah, but yeah, continues to be very well acted. Who's your boy that played uh um that played Conquest? The dad, Jeffrey
Oh,
Dean
Jeffrey
Morgan.
Morgan.
He was I think his performance in the full episode supremely outdid the initial voice direction that kind of threw people off. Because I think we had talked about that a little bit in the past. But yeah. Yeah. So both shows are good. I'm looking forward to see what we get next. So just keep the good writing coming. I'm expecting Daredevil to get better. I'm expecting Invincible to keep its pace.
Yeah. What did you say? Keep its pace or keep its space?
Keep its pace, PACE.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty. Its momentum is pretty steady. So there's not really been anything where I think if the team in Invincible knows how and where to navigate their story and keep it where they want it to be. The episode with Jesse Pinkman's actor was also really good. They handled that really interestingly well.
No, yeah, they did a phenomenal job with it.
Yeah. So there are moments where it's just like this is really dope storytelling how they executed this. But okay, ready to move on to the next. What's up?
I'm watching the trailer for this right now. It looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks fun. Between that and My Hero One's All's Justice, it'll be a interesting period for fighting games.
Oh wow, trailers been coming out for this for months now. Oh wait, how did I not know about this? That's crazy.
Yeah, I think it was E3 or something where it dropped.
Yeah, a trailer that dropped 2 months ago. I'm like, damn, I've been really out of the loop.
Been busy. You had a lot going on.
Yeah,
especially during that particular month.
Yeah, the rapidness of it kind of reminds you of Street Fighter a little bit.
I can see,
like not the rapidness, but the way that it jumps frames with the action reminds you of Street Fighter.
Yeah,
like it doesn't move like a Mortal Kombat game or like a Budokai Tenkaichi or something.
Yeah, no, I see what you're talking about.
But yeah, I'm excited. But I'm ready to move on to the next topic.
You ready to rant?
Oh, let's get it. Always.
So we're gonna jump around the timeline a little bit. We'll talk about Eyes of Wakanda. We'll talk about Ironheart. But before we talk about that, we gotta talk about Marvel and Disney's marketing for these shows.
Listen.
So what's up? What's
going on?
Because on Threads, and I don't know if you had seen this in your social media ecosystem, but my ecosystem, I follow a lot of like progressive nerds, blurs, creators, things like that. So about a month and a half to the lead up for Ironheart, there was an aggressive campaign that I can say that I was a part of, where it was just like every day pretty much. Before the trailer had even dropped, it's like, don't let Disney let you forget that June 19th, Ironheart has its premiere. June 19th, Ironheart premiere. Or it wasn't June 19th. It was later on. I thought it was not Juneteenth. It was later. I think it was June 26th. I think it was a week after Juneteenth. It was like June
Okay.
26th. Here's the Ironheart, whatever the date was. It was repeated over. I was saying it. Blurred Without Fear was saying it. Capes, I think his name is like Muscles and Comics or Muscles and Capes, whatever. There were a lot of people out there, Vigilante Vibes podcast. There are so many people out there that were very turbulent for it. And it was just like to the point where it was becoming conversation where it's like, oh, well, Daredevil didn't release its trailer till like, I think 45 days from its release. It's like, yeah, that's highly unusual. We saw the Fantastic Four before we saw a trailer for Ironheart.
Yeah.
And it's like Daredevil had, so I think it was the closest window. I think it was about 30 days. It was like maybe a couple weeks before it's like, oh, here's the trailer for Ironheart. And of course, the people that bitched and moaned, we were not giving them the time of day.
Of course.
What we are talking
They
about
always do.
is that the marketing campaign for this show was carried by the Marvel fans, and particularly I would say like the like blurred fans, the lesser known fans, the more marginalized identities in the community were like, hey, let's check this show out, give it a fair shake, try and support it like anything else. Because like I will be the first one to say, this is my favorite version of Riri Williams. I think this is the best written version of Riri Williams. I've read a decent number of Riri Williams' book to have an opinion on it. I read some of her run in Invincible Iron Man. I read some of her solo book. I do not like her comic book costume. I think it is very gaudy and over-designed. I've read some of Eve Ewing's run. She did the best she could with what she was handed, and I will always respect her for that. I read her most recent book that came out earlier this year. It kind of sucked, and the art was really weird. They did not know how to draw black people's hair. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's mean, but it's my opinion.
No.
That said, why I say I was part of the marketing, I made a video of this. Still up on my TikTok and my Instagram. They sent me and several other people pieces of merch from the show. They sent us posters and stickers and a letter that was like, hey, thank you for supporting the as a token of our appreciation for supporting the show, we wanted to send you this. It was really cool. Marvel hit my DMs, trying to be in one of your movies. It's the next goal.
I did not know that. That's awesome.
Yeah. So the video's on my page, and it was the day of the second half of episodes that came out. But then we had the same issue with Eyes of Wakanda, but worse, where we got a trailer, I think a week before. And here's the thing. I knew it was coming out. You probably knew because we followed this news, but that's not the average person. So if I talk to my mom, who is, for all intents and purposes, like, don't get me wrong, she watches all the Marvel stuff, but she's not like finger on the pulse, like us earlier talking about the Deadline disclosure about like, what's the young lady's like, Tania, what was it? Tania Miller being cast as Jocasta for Vision Quest. Like, she's not out here doing that because she's a grown-ass adult that actually uses her free time to like help the community instead of being perpetually online like I am. So it's like people aren't going to know this stuff exists if you don't market it. And I get it. You kind of sent this show out to die. But it's a shame because both of these shows are pretty damn good. Like, at a minimum, they're solid. Like, is Ironheart one of the best MCU TV shows? Arguably.
I really, really liked it. I
thought it was very good. It's like Eyes of Wakanda, like both of them kind of have some of the better end of the storytelling. Eyes of Wakanda has very good fight animation. It's like its narratives were all unique. Its character designs, well, not exactly my cup of tea. I like them better than the What If designs. And I don't hate What If. I'm all right on What If. I think it's like it has good episodes. Its overarching plot is divisive, again, some of its parts. But my beef is just like, I get that they're pushing these shits out. We haven't seen anything for Marvel Zombies really at all. We've barely seen jack shit for Wonder Man. I get it. This was the Chapek era where we were just greenlighting things left and right and left and right and left and right. But Agatha all along did well. So you can trust the risk, trust your teams, put investment and energy behind these teams because you want, it's like, don't treat them like tax write-offs. You want these to be good. Yeah. I get it. We're about to move into the mutant saga. The whole face of the MCU is about to change. It's going to be all the mutants and all the Fantastic Four stuff. I get it. We're getting a soft reboot at the end of Secret Wars. I get it. But also, we're probably going to have a Young Avengers. Yep. Ironheart will probably be in Young Avengers. We're probably going to get Black Panther 3. So it's like this stuff is going to matter. And these things have built-in fan bases. There weren't really any complaints about Riri Williams because nobody talks about Wakanda Forever despite the fact that it's a pretty solid movie. give or
Yeah.
take some parts. But Riri Williams is not the problem with that movie. She's actually a pretty big core part of the plot. So it's just trust your team. I get it. People didn't like Secret Invasion. But if it sucks, then take that blow. But also don't send your shows out to die like this. Like it's just like
Yeah.
that sucks for everyone involved, and that's gonna get you less money. Like to cut a trailer together. Look, as someone that has done many a short film, you ever seen someone make a trailer for a short film that's 12 minutes? You still get a trailer that's a minute long. The whole fucking shit is less than an episode of anime. And those people, those independent artists are still putting trailers out like, hey, here's a teaser for this thing I have coming. This is my art. This is my craft. Check it out when it drops. Those are independent people. You have millions of dollars. You've put all this money into this tech to make the freaking Iron Man suit look good. You've hired all these animators for Eyes of Wakanda. I'm sure Proximity Media did a buttload of investment as well because they were also producers on both of those projects. Regardless, it's like you put all this money into it, show it off, be proud of it. I get it. We're transitioning to the next saga. I get it. Ironheart was coming out between Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four. Give it a chance.
Yeah.
I'll let you take it from here.
Yeah, and I'm tossed, right? Because I agree with all the sentiments you just said. I think that's amazing. They sent you some stuff for showing support, and it's awesome that that even in the face of what seems like intentional burying, that these things are still able to get love. And I'm coming at this with the knowledge that Daredevil, the original series, was a very critically acclaimed, very loved by fans, popular show. And even with all of that, something like Daredevil Born Again failed. Like it didn't even touch the Nielsen scale or the TV
Nielsen
scale for
ratings.
something.
Yeah,
Nielsen's ratings, yeah. Which is very surprising, very shocking. Now, even though that was the case, I feel like they decently marketed that show when it was coming out in March. So I can't help but feel a type of way that the two shows with black creatives behind them about black people were the shows that got the shortest end of the stick in between your two films that were predominantly lighter in tone.
Yeah, I mean, each of them had one light skinned person each. You had the Chilean in Fantastic Four. You had the biracial in Thunderbolts.
Exactly.
Everybody gets one.
Everybody gets one except for Ironheart, who gets none. Because all it got was hate from a loud minority and
just a bunch of chuds
complete absence from the rest of the world, which is really unfortunate because I feel like my black friends who are out here didn't even check it out because the voices of the minority who hate it are so loud. They just take that as gospel from the people who don't have love for these properties. I have personally haven't seen, and I'm not to say that they're not out there, but I haven't seen any black people shit on this show because I feel like it comes from a very authentic voice in Riri Williams' experience. The characters feel lived in, the dynamics, the world, the struggles of Riri Williams. I like that she's not a cookie cutter hero. She does what she needs to do to survive, and she does what she needs to because she's grieving, because she's in pain, and she's very human for that. And I really like that we get a character who, at the end of their series, doesn't make the heroic quote unquote decision.
Yeah.
They do something to damn their souls, essentially. And it makes me upset that we are going to either have to wait a long time or never get that resolved at all because Marvel decided to bury one of the most interesting things they've done in years by not having faith in their black creators, not giving it the time of day, by putting it off to kind of wither away. And it's unfortunate because part of me is like, is this circumstance that's caused these shows to kind of be the most buried thing since Echo? Because Echo also was fucking soft.
Echo got dropped hard
as fuck under the table because Eyes of Wakanda came out all in one day.
Yep.
And Ironheart came out in two parts, one week and the next week.
Yep.
And they never drop shit like that. Disney has never dropped some shit like that other than Echo, which I'm like, okay. So the commonalities here are people of color.
Yeah, because Agatha got a full release, and that show is gay as fuck. And I'm glad. I'm glad it got a weekly release. I really like Agatha All Along. It's a very
Yeah,
good show. It's one of Marvel's best shows. It
truly.
got a weekly drop. It got hyped up. A spinoff to freaking WandaVision.
Yeah, it did.
That
It
was
did
it.
great.
It was a gamble. That was as much of a gamble as Echo was.
Yeah, and part of me wonders why Marvel did this. Part of me wonders, like, okay, is this like one of your final projects that was made under the Chapek era? Because
Mm-hmm.
mind you, nigga, I saw this at D23 in 2022. I watched footage of this
Yes.
show
Yeah.
3 years ago, and it's just now coming out, which feels criminal, which feels
Mm-hmm.
insane. And I'm like, why did it take them so long to put this out when
Like
we had?
it's not Dune in terms of visual. Like, don't get me wrong, the visuals are beautiful, but Dune can turn around a whole movie in about 2 years. Why did this take 3?
But the real thing is, look, we have Wonder Man coming out later this year.
That's
We had
December. Yeah.
we had Captain America this year. We had Thunderbolts this year. We had Fantastic Four this year. Eyes of Wakanda and Ironheart were dropped in between Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, mainly amongst the major marketing push of Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
When last year, all we had was Deadpool and Wolverine. Clear open space for you to drop a show like this, for it to have its time in the sun,
Yeah.
to just shine on its own.
Yeah. You put it in some kind of death slots.
Yeah, and it just feels funny to me that this was dropped, something that is unconventional, that is very black, that does have soul to it, does have
Mm-hmm.
culture to it, alongside something that is, for lack of a better term, more traditional, more conservative, and that's the thing
Mm-hmm.
that's pushed. Because Fantastic Four, they're harkening back to the
The
'60s, the
'60s.
classic
Yeah.
nuclear family
It's
model,
retro
and
futuristic in its
back
aesthetic.
in the good old days. Not to say
Yeah.
I dislike that movie. I
No. No.
really did
We'll
that
talk
movie.
about that soon. But
Yeah, but it just feels strange to me that the thing that is more soft fitted to appease general audiences, the left and the right, I guess
mm-hmm.
conservatively more the right, because it doesn't do anything quote unquote woke or anything to trigger the anti woke people or what the fuck ever. But
Yeah.
the thing that is just trying to be its own identity is shot upon and kind of through the echoes of hating osmosis buried by people that didn't even give it the time of day, which is unfortunate and disheartening, because I think this show really deserved better.
Yeah, and you know what's really crazy too, and I was remembering it as you were talking about it too. What's crazy is that during the 2 week drops for Ironheart, Marvel did come out and say, "Hey, follow the official watch along party with oh my god, I think it was Black Girl Nerds and
Mm.
Blurred Without Fear." I think me and the lead interview of Black Girl Nerds are mutuals now. So shout outs to Black Girl Nerds. But it's like, hey, Marvel posted publicly on their social media during each one. It's like, hey, watch along and thread along and tweet along with these creators. What carried the marketing for Ironheart was fans, which is very weird. It's like that of all things, they're like, hey, everybody go. And I'm not gonna say they've never done this. I'm not gonna be delusional and say that they've never like engaged in fan interaction. That's normal. This seemed like such an outlier. That's the weird thing.
Right, like we're gonna outsource our excitement and marketing. Y'all can do the marketing because we're not gonna put the money towards it.
I think when they saw the fervor, because I don't think this was a case of a loud minority of people supporting it. I do think people were legitimately wondering, hey, what's up with this show that exists that we've seen snippets of in random trailers and things and teasers for years for this character that we know has a project that there are set photos of. What I think people were genuinely curious, and some people were like frustrated with how they handled it, rightfully so. I admire the cast and crew behind this for being very tactful, being very respectful, being very like open. But it's like the marketing. Like I even looked the other day when I was watching Nerds of Culture live, and I looked back on YouTube of the whole video of like Robert Downey Jr. talking to Dominic Thorne. Guess how many views are on that thing? Now, granted, this is the YouTube one, not the other ones floating around Twitter and IG and stuff like that. Those could be different. But guess how many views are on that?
How many views?
263K.
63K.
I checked this last night
Oh wow.
on Marvel's official YouTube page. Okay. Robert Downey Jr. talking to Dominique Thorne.
Mm.
Mind you, this is 2 months after the show has dropped. So it's like, but
Wow.
you go to, and I'm sure the trailer has a bunch of views and a bunch of hate comments, a bunch of stupid stuff, but it's just like
I mean,
the
I'm like tossed because I'm like, I feel like for interview style, that's fairly good. But
yeah,
as far as like marketing goes, I'm like, yeah, I think that's even
that
for real rejects, that a video like that, fucking, that's great views.
oh yeah, no, that here's the thing. Those are good views, but I'm also thinking just like, let's say hypothetically it was like 200K when it dropped back in June. And maybe it's gone up since then. And we're just talking YouTube and just that. That seems low for Marvel.
2 months removed from when the show came out, yeah, it's pretty low. Like, did it drop 2 months ago, or did it drop this like recently?
No, this dropped like around the time the show came out. So this is back in June.
Oh,
Yeah.
then
Yeah. So this
hmm.
2 months after that drop
for
from
big for a big page like Marvel that gets millions on their trailers,
millions
yeah.
of views. That's what I'm saying. You got Robert himself in there, just like, wow, this is cool. I'm proud of you. Did fucking Doctor Doom, Iron Man. It's like, why so late?
Yeah. And it sucks because a show's gonna flop like this. And granted, I don't think the reception is nearly as. I think the people that are the grifters, who are like the
Yeah.
nerd grifters, really are the ones leading the charge. But I feel like something like Secret Wars was pretty universally panned by like all sides, but not for being like what they perceived as woke, which they don't even fucking know the meaning of.
They don't. They
They
misuse that
don't.
shit all
They
the
can't
time,
tell
and
you.
it's
They can't tell
smooth
you what it
pisses me
means.
off. It's like,
Yeah.
y'all don't know Ebonics. You ain't part of the culture, and I'm not gonna educate you on some shit that you're not meant to know about.
Right. But yeah, it sucks that this is probably going to have. I'm going to say knock on wood. I'm
Yeah.
going to hope that there's still hope, but I just don't want this to go the way of Eternals, where Marvel
Right.
either it pretends like it doesn't exist or just doesn't acknowledge it because they don't want to be associated with what they perceive to be a failure.
Yeah, because like, don't get me wrong, I am far and away not at all like a huge proponent of Eternals. I do think She-Hulk had some relatively weak writing moments. I mean, my biggest beef with that show is her fashion. So it's like, I'm not a huge. That said, I like Tatiana Maslany as Jennifer
I thought she's
Walters.
great.
I like
She's
her
great
as
as Jennifer
She-Hulk.
Walters.
I want to see more of She-Hulk. I also
Same.
want some better writing. I want it to be more of a comedy procedural. That's for me. It's like,
Yeah,
and
I think that
I want her to have better fashion. Her fashion was ass that whole show. It pissed me
right.
off.
The Daredevil episode was what that show should have been. Like her
Yeah,
in court and then her solving some shit outside of She-Hulk. Perfect.
that episode and the Meg episode. Aside
Yeah.
from the fact that Meg was in it, it's just like, oh, this is an interesting legal case. How does Jen tackle that? That's all you had to do. It's
Yeah.
like, and how does Jen handle different situations? So there's like bursts in there of stuff that I think is real good. But it's just like, but altogether, I'm just like, it could have been a little better. But it's like, but that said, I like Tatiana Maslany. I want to see more of her She-Hulk. The Eternals, am I the biggest fan of them? No, but apparently there's a lot of people that do like them. Would I be upset if I saw them? No. The Inhuman show from the 2010s that I was cursed to watch for that old YouTube channel we were on, it's like, is 1,000% bad. But I liked Anson Mount as Black Bolt, so when he showed up in Multiverse of Madness, I was very happy because Anson Mount was not the problem with that show. I'd say the majority of the time, it's not the talent, it's the writing or stuff BTS. Like, I'm not huge on Captain Marvel in Captain Marvel. I like Captain Marvel in the Marvels. A lot of people don't like the Marvels. So is what it is. But it's
Yeah.
just, it's like, I get you're running $1 billion business in the game of superheroes. You have the biggest franchise out there, but why would you roll something out, an investment out to die without trying to, just because there's a lot of vocal, loud Nazis and racists, frankly, that just like, yeah, there's not a white man here. Just like, okay, stop listening to them. Like, here's it's like that's the thing. They're loud and noisy because it gets attention. You know what? You've been to New York. People say loud, crazy shit every day.
All the time.
Motherfuckers come out like, Showtime. You ignore them. You're a company.
Right.
Yes, these people are going to have their hundreds of thousands of goofy ass viewers, of racist viewers, of Nazi viewers. of conservative dumbass viewers, of fucking MAGA viewers. Who gives a shit? And when I say who gives a shit, I mean that those are not the people that are lining your pockets. You know who are? Families. Little boys, little girls, fucking millennials that like Spider-Man. It's like those fucking loud ass goofballs that are like, ugh, Disney with another woke project again. It's like, okay, fuck it. Do what you were gonna do anyway. They won't. It's like that. You know what happens when there's something that I don't want to see? I generally don't see it. The only times I've seen it was Madam Web, because I was foolish. I had a fool's delusion. And then Venom, because you were in town. That was it. Because I was not going to watch that movie.
No, I know.
It's like, because
we're the only ones in that theater.
We sure were. I fucking skipped Craven the Hunter because I'm like, this doesn't look good. I'm not going to see it. I didn't watch Morbius because it didn't look good. So it's just like, hey, don't roll your things out to die. Trust your audience. They will. Because here's the thing, Thunderbolts underperformed. And that movie is rather good.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Brave New World, which is kind of mid, did very well.
It's insane.
It's like you would think that'd be flipped, but no, it's not gonna be the things that you expect. As far as I can tell in terms of fan reception, for the most part, most people like Ironheart. Like, aside from the review bombing when you took away those scores, most people were pretty positive, pretty glowing about it.
Yeah. Everyone I've talked to, really, my parents liked the show. Yeah. My parents called me out, and like my parents never watched Marvel stuff. So I'm happy that, it is this thing of the people who haven't seen it, it's because of the hate or the loudness, but the people who have really rock with it.
And you know what's going to be? This is going to be a big problem that they have to nip in the bud sooner rather than later, especially going to X-Men, because X-Men's whole thing is discrimination against mutants.
Yeah.
How are you going to tackle that theme? You've already done it, by the way, with X-Men 97.
X-Men woke.
Right. They done turned the X-Men woke.
You're about to get those videos.
Yeah, it's like a Native American Wolverine. X-Men goes woke again. It's like, dog. One, you've already done this with X-Men 97. That's a core theme of the premise of the X-Men, is them facing discrimination to the point where you have like a two-parter called Tolerance is Extinction. How are you not just knowing ways to deal with these bigots, especially when the new saga, you want to put the spotlight on the whole group whose thing is, people don't like us because we're different.
Yeah.
Species
of mutants.
In observable, visible ways. Boy, this metaphor for the civil rights movement. Boy, this metaphor for homophobia. That's why I tell you it's like the only way they can go is to do intersectionality. But I don't think they have the stones to do it. Because you see how they handle the other stuff. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, there's a bunch of white mutants. There's a bunch of weird mutants. There's a lot of mutants of color. Again, you already did mutants of color. Because you got Kamala now. Or Kamala's. It's just like, you're about to handle it all over again. If you think it was bad now because the black girl fly around in the Iron Man suit with an ego, it's about to get way worse for you, buddy. It's about to get so much worse. Because it's like they're not. The sad thing is, so many people discovered empathy for other people by seeing that. I guess it's sad but good that people discovered empathy for other people by realizing the metaphor of mutants and X-Men was just like bigotry. Like, oh, they can be white but be different. Yes, and you should treat people with respect regardless. So it's like this whole thing that you're going through now, you're gonna circle right around again because you have to have themes for that. And you're putting Matt Shackman in that box.
Yeah,
blessings to that man. He's gonna have to tell a story that somehow still ties into discrimination.
I mean, not Matt Shackman. You're talking about the guy who did Thunderbolts.
Yeah, sorry, right? Shackman did
Jake
Fantastic Four.
Something, I think.
Jake Schreier.
Drake Schreier. There.
Yeah, Jake Schreier's doing X-Men. My fault. Yeah. So.
Yeah, but I think he'll do a good job. And the people who are going to be loud are going to be loud, and that's only going to fuel the fire at the people because
they will be loud and run out of air.
Rock with X-Men, and I'm excited to see them embrace the colorfulness of X-Men.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the thing about people that are loud, the people that are filled with a lot of hot air, they're going to run out of air real fast. Hopefully, eventually. But we live in a culture now that is so divisive. People feed on hateful content. Listen, apparently Sydney Sweeney's like a hard conservative. I don't know what's going on right now,
I don't know what the
man.
fuck's happening.
We not even getting into that.
That's a
All right,
whole
so
other conversation.
it is. So let's talk about the actual content of the shows. Let's start with Eyes of Wakanda because it's a little shorter. How did you feel about Eyes of Wakanda?
I liked Eyes of Wakanda. I thought it was
Mhm.
a fun anthology show. I liked the last two a little bit more because I like the first one. I like the themes of what they're talking
Yeah,
about of the blind loyalty of for your country and how that changes you, and then they incorporated those lessons, or that main character became a war dog, and then you see the effects of friendship versus country, or in the second episode. The third episode was country versus like love, or
that was the
intimacy.
Iron Fist one. Yeah,
Iron Fist one, and the last one was legacy versus like defining your own legacy, I suppose, even if nobody else knows about it. So I think each of them had some interesting lessons within them, and the way they all tie into each other and how they tie into the first Black Panther movie is also interesting. I like the animation style. It's not my favorite. I prefer
yeah.
something like a Arcane, or a Spider Verse, or we're getting, or even K-pop Demon Hunters. Did you watch that one?
Yeah, that's
That's another big
if
topic.
man, if we had the time, we'll see. We'll see how things go. We'll see how things go. If we can slide, if we keep it under 3 hours somehow, then we can talk about K-pop Demon Hunters. But yes, great movie.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, that was a big one we were missing. Yeah, but yeah,
It's a big year, big year for supernatural people of color movies.
big ass year. But yeah, to keep it short, I think that it was good. It was good. It didn't blow me away, but I think for as far as Black creative stories go in the MCU, expanding the world of Wakanda and the history of Wakanda in ways that add color to that corner of this universe, I think it was great, and I'm happy. I'm not sure if they confirmed if that stuff was canon. It seems like it's implied that it's canon to the history of Wakanda.
I believe so. Yeah.
So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. What about you, man?
Yeah, I thought it was very good. I know people can be really hit or miss on like binging shows. I personally am like pro binge. I kind of like being able to sit and get through a story in one sitting. I know not everybody's like that, but yeah, I mean, each one had a different kind of message. I think for me, my favorites were probably one for sure. They all hit in different ways. I think they all excelled
Yeah,
at different things in different ways.
I
So
think
like
3 and 4 are probably my favorite, but I did like one.
I think 1 and 3, but I really like the ending of 4. So it's
Yeah,
like the over. So I guess like just breaking them down real fast. Like the first one, it's like I really like the fights of it, and like you were saying, the themes of just like that idea of like rebellion versus what's going in. I thought that was going to be the thread when they had the general in the first one show up in the second one, but no, it wasn't that. It was some. There wasn't really as much. The second one was fun. I like the kind of historical, mythological components there, where it's like, oh yeah, they were here for also some historical events, and even just like the whole Achilles heel narrative and how that tied in. I thought that was really creative. The bond between Memnon and Achilles was interesting because it's like it danced, I think, a interesting line between friendship and kind of a level of homoeroticism that I thought was actually pretty well done and compelling. The third one, seeing an Iron Fist was cool. It was fun, creative. It was a little bit more kind of zany. I'm not sure what other adjective would fit, but it was like it was more lighthearted than
it
the
was, it was the most fun, for lack
yeah
of better terms.
yeah, it was a lot lighter than the other ones in terms of its tone. It was interesting seeing soldiers be less self-serious than how they're generally presented in just other media of Wakanda. But seeing introducing an Iron Fist that seemed very capable, that was cool. Especially speaking of like Shao Lao, the Undying, and everything. So it was interesting, and their technology was out. And then the fourth one. So the larger narrative was kind of meh, but the secondary narrative was very interesting to me
Mm, hmm
with the time traveling final Black Panther. I think they called it the last
The
Panther.
Last Panther.
Yeah, that was really interesting component to deal with about like Wakanda being on the brink and this being like a potential future, if not for this necessary kind of series of events. if this is to basically be canon with the rest of the sacred timeline of the MCU. I think that's really interesting, and where it leaves off of, I'm like, oh, that's cool. So I think it starts strong. I think it ends strong, like very, very strong and interestingly in a way that weaves back into the Black Panther narrative. I think people's biggest issue that they'll have with this show is that because it's not a big event and it doesn't directly tie into a big, like, well, what's to come next? It doesn't really tell us, like, well, here's what to expect for Black Panther 3. You know, I think because it's essentially a offshoot miniseries, like, you know, like the World of Wakanda comics or anything like that, despite it being well animated, good voice direction, interesting narratives, I don't think people are going to be head over heels. I mean, it has a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't think people are going to be head over heels over it because it's like, it's not, doesn't have like big names or big faces. It's
The thing I will say is that, and it didn't bother me a ton
mhm.
because I guess the last episode makes up for that a bit. But they are I feel like very intentionally don't utilize the moniker of the Black Panther to focus on the War Dogs. And I feel as
Yeah.
though maybe if they were actual following different Black Panthers over history, they might have brought more people into it. But because it wasn't the actual thing Wakanda's most known for, at least in our world. That's why I didn't get a lot of eyes.
Yeah.
Who
No,
is playing part of it?
I mean, I'd be inclined to agree with you. I'm trying to remember. It's like, are the war dogs the same as the Hatutserase? Yes,
So
they
Nakia
are.
was a war dog.
Yeah, so they're the same. It's just I'm surprised they haven't like used the. I don't think they've officially used their real name. Maybe because they're concerned that people won't know how to say it. But
Did they
yeah,
say it in the movie?
I don't know if they've ever said it. Like I know about it because of the comics, because I've read enough Black Panther comics to know about like the Hatutserase. But yeah, but beyond that, yeah, I agree with you. Where it's just like I think that would have been my initial prediction, but like I said, it's Eyes of Wakanda, not Eyes of the Panther, is the big thing. So it's
Yes.
like I do think Wakandan culture does have enough, and this proves, you know, with a good writing team, there is enough for you to have interesting narratives. But I think the country and what's interesting about it will always fall in the shadow of existing as an extension of the Black Panther. It's kind of like if you had an Iron Fist show, but most of the show was about Kunlun. It's not that that can't be interesting. That could be very, very interesting. But everyone's like, yeah, but you know what I really want.
Yeah, that's not what people consider to be the draw of
Yeah,
the thing.
the character is going to be a bigger draw than its world, which is a shame because it's like I think even in people's feedback, it's like, yeah, ultimately, you know, it's like you want more Black Panther. Wakanda is just like a bonus, really.
Yeah.
But and also because they're not pre-established characters, I think that doesn't help the argument as much. Versus if it was like a story about T'Chaka or Bashanga, the first Black Panther, or even like the last Panther that they have, you know, at the end. You know, it's like I think following it. I think unfortunately following a different Panther per episode probably would have been too predictable. It seems like they kind of wanted to challenge themselves, but which I think made for more interesting stories, but as a consequence doesn't hold people's attention. So luckily it was only 4 episodes, so you could kind of blitz through that over like a lunch period, really.
Yeah. It was very quick, very easy to watch when I had done it.
Yeah, same for me.
Yeah, I think it was a strong show overall.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that playing to expectations inherently makes. I don't think not doing something for the sake of unpredictability is necessarily an indicator of quality. Because I feel like you can
I agree.
do something that's quote unquote formulaic, but the way you succeed in that thing or the way you execute that thing is what's important. But I do respect and appreciate them going a different direction than maybe people wanted them to go, would think they were to go, because of the stories they wanted to tell. An important thing about staying creative and putting new things out there is sometimes you give people the thing they don't even know they want. And when they do want it or they do finally get it, they're happy about it. Granted, that can go both ways. Sometimes you put something out that think people would want and they don't actually want it, and it goes wrong. They're like, "Why did you make that?" But when things do go well, like say like Guardians of the Galaxy, people were not clamoring for that, but once they got it, or like K-pop Demon Hunters. You know,
Mm.
people weren't clamoring for that, but once they got it, they're like, "Oh, I need this in my life." So I'm always a fan of taking risks, and I appreciate the fact that this show did that. And it did. It's just a shame that it didn't get the reception that it deserved.
Yeah, yeah. So I hope people do kind of come around to it because exactly like you said, it's like I don't think it would have taken away if it was basically 4 episodes of 4 different Panthers doing 4 different things. I think that could have very much worked. Could have been very cool, but they
Mm.
went about it the way they did, and I still think they were successful.
Agreed.
So, you want to talk about Ironheart?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Uh,
let's get into it. What did you think of Ironheart?
I really liked it. Like, bias aside, yeah, I was really rocking with it. Like, my biggest concern was going to be the vindication that, like, that it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. But it's like, are there little things that I think you can kind of critique about the
Mhm.
villain? I say yes and no because, like, the scale of the events, the motivation for a lot of it, like, a overarching narrative for it is like grief and like recognition. So I think how they executed that was very, very good. I think it's not, I think this, honestly, I think this show handles I don't even like really calling her arrogant per se, but like the arrogant, capable lead, I think it handles it better than like Captain Marvel does because I think with Carol, it comes across as disinterest and ambivalence. But for Riri, it's like this is something I have to overcome. I think her motivation, like not to delve too much into the chud bullshit of it all, but one of the feedback that some of those morons had because they don't have any decent amount of media literacy or just like context clues is just like, oh, when her and Natalie were just like, yeah, we're gonna be bigger than Stark, bigger than Pym. And I'm just like, yeah, that's what's up. Be cocky. Have fun with it. It's like,
Hyping
oh, they're
themselves up.
saying, yeah, they're hyping themselves up. They have joy. They're excited. It's like when you want to be the best, you're gonna put your name up there with the greats because you really have to back it up with your actions. But it's like, oh, she thinks she's gonna be like people just want to knock black women down a peg. And that's something that really irks
Yeah.
the shit out of me. But it's like, no, it's like I liked Riri's characterization where it's like she wasn't flawless. She made mistakes. Her hubris paralleled, I think, really, really well with Tony in a way that I don't think they captured in her books as well as I would like. That's why I think her interpretation here and in Wakanda Forever is very, very good. I think she is likable because she has a lot more kind of depth to her that's there where it's like full transparency. I hate Riri Williams' backstory from the comics. It bothers me because it feels like I like Bendis. I get why he does what he does, but sometimes I'm just like, dog, you just missed the forest through the trees. So it's like I don't like the fact that the black woman or the black girl raised in Chicago had her dad die from gun violence as well as her best friend. And it's not even her original dad; it's her stepdad because her original dad left. It's like, oh, okay, so just a single mom twice, huh? Like her mom can't have
Right.
shit, you know. So it's like yes, that is a reality that does happen to people, but it would be nice if the autistic coded girl genius had 2 parents. But we got Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur for that, I guess. But the way they incorporated it into her character here, I think was really well illustrated. It took something that I really am just like not a huge fan of and was just like, yeah, now this is how it works with this character. This is how it informs her decisions. This is how it feeds her cockiness and her hubris. This is also resulting in her making a fucking singularity with her Natalie AI. That's fucking terrible. Literally in her sleep, she hooked it up to her brainwaves and like popped out an AI that can take over devices. Like that is some horrifying. That has some terrifying implications for technology. Because like Tony and Bruce had to work like day and night for days just to make Ultron. Riri hooked some shit up to her and her laptop, took a nap for a couple hours, and here's Natalie pulling off the fucking Matrix in her house. Like that's
Right.
nightmarish. I like the High Squad. Just a bunch of gay hotties. The mixture of magic with science was really, really, and also frustrating, not in a negative way, but because of the exchange of magic resulting in Natalie just when she came back being taken away again. And I'm like, girl's about to crash out. And crash out she did. She gave up her fucking soul. The introduction to Mephisto being here, which is something we've known about for years since the casting, that I guess people just forgot was like the biggest, most open rumor for years. And it's like, oh, Sacha Baron Cohen's playing. And they showed up. I'm like, there he is. And in that moment, I'm about to hear a bunch of 40 and up nerds get super duper pissed that he showed up in the fucking Ironheart show instead of like Agatha all along or something. But no, it all worked for me. The title card sequences were creative. I think while you can make arguments about the short-sightedness and maybe abruptness of the writing of the Hood, I do think it kind of feeds into his character being ultimately shallow in his motivation. So it's like you can make an argument that like that weakness is kind of endemic to the character is where it's like he wants more, but more is not a fixed point. So even when he gets more, it's still not enough, which is a shallow motivation, but he's a relatively shallow guy.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's like I hate my dad, understandably so, because he kicked me out as a kid. So I'm going to be better than everything, but it's not enough. And I work with people about this. Like, it's not enough for you to want to be different as a point of comparison. So it's like you can't define the shape of something by what it isn't. So for you to like not be your dad or not be broke doesn't mean that you're successful.
Yeah.
That's different than between like, oh, I want to run this company. Oh, I want to be a billionaire. He thought that's what would make him happy is having this shit so that he would basically not be like his dad, but it didn't. And he kept going for more and more. And then like the drug aspect of the Hood kicked in. So it's like I thought that was interesting. The introduction of Ezekiel Stain was really, really fun. Led to a really neat fight sequence. I love her suits throughout the show. My favorite version of Riri's suits, including the one from Wakanda Forever. I love the final suit. It all just clicked. It worked for me. I really would like a Strange Academy show with is her name Zara or Zeba? I'm
I don't
forgetting
remember off the top of my head, but I know who you're
um
talking about. She was
yeah,
fun.
the
That
witch
was probably my
girl.
favorite episode.
That was fun. The fact that her mom was played by Cree Summer was perfect casting. Perfect casting. I've been saying this shit for years that Cree Summer and Erica Badu and Rachel True should all be in a witch. Look, I'll write that shit someday. Don't worry about it. I got it. But it's like Cree Summer as a witch who's the mother of another witch that could eat. Now that's a spinoff. The Strange Academy. There's your fucking spinoff right there.
Yeah.
That's what I need to see because everyone's like, it's like, hey, so how about that Strange Academy spinoff? Even the actress is like, Strange Academy. What? Also, she be rapping apparently. This is just minor off topic, but it's like apparently she be rapping. She's pretty good
Oh
from the little bit
shit.
I've seen of. Yeah, shout out to her. But yeah, it all worked for me. I was okay with it being actually okay. I did want a little bit more. It does kind of end like, damn, bro, you ain't got no more of them episodes. You ain't got
Where they
nothing
at?
else.
Where the rest at?
Yeah,
Shit.
what the rest at? Is like, yeah, what a show at, nigga? What a show at, bro? Come on, like trying to see something, but no, it's good. It's like the MCU's version of Ironheart. I have liked across all versions. Like her episode of What If in season 3, I like. It gave me superior Iron Man vibes. It's pretty damn good. It doesn't get talked about enough, but
Yeah. And
it was good.
I really dug it. Yeah. I think that look, it's better than Secret Invasion. It's better than fucking Hawkeye. It's
Yeah,
better than some of these other shows. Like I liked it better than Falcon Winter Soldier personally.
Zoma
Um
Stanton. Yeah, it's
Zoma
better.
Stanton.
That was the name of the witch. Yeah, it's better than Falcon Soldier because of how that show ends with respectability politics. Yeah,
You gotta do better, Senator.
we all need to join hands, brother. Shut up. Shut up.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. God damn. Fucking
Anthony Mackie
rape.
at the end with his little
Looking like your girl from Dreamgirls. All you gotta do is dream.
his little smile knowing that he did something.
So
Or he
someone
knows
say
he
he
knows
looked like he hides snacks in his mouth, but he won't tell you.
that was fucking good. Yeah, man. I think it's better than a lot of shows. And the fact that we have a show that really tackles and shows not only grief but anxiety. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is one of the few MCU projects that actually make me cry. Like when showing the flashback of her with her dad in the garage, that like really moved me. And you don't get that a lot, especially within the MCU. We this is one of the few projects in the MCU that is a primarily black cast, and is dealing with this girl who's dealing with grief and feeling like she's weighing over her head and trying to find a way to protect the people in her life while also keeping them at bay emotionally. And yeah, I was gonna say this is the only black led thing in the MCU, but we do have Falcon Winter Soldier, and by
This is the first black
technicality,
woman led show in the MCU.
first black woman led show in the MCU. There we go. Because I was like, we have if we're counting Luke Cage, that is another very black
Yeah,
show in the
yeah, yeah,
MCU.
yeah. He counts. He beat Falcon Soldier by a while, actually.
So we do have a few different shows that have black people as and their stories, especially in long form. But yeah, I like Ezekiel Stain and his relationship with Riri and the fact that she's both defining her own legacy, but one of her antagonists is also a legacy villain from Iron Man's past. I thought that was very cool, even though she doesn't have a direct tie to Iron Man. He funded students at MIT, and she went to MIT,
Yeah.
and might be the reason that she had some money there in the first place to
Mhm.
work on her pursuits and whatnot. But yeah, I think that this show really did a great job with her, and her suits looked amazing. I like the Hood. I like Anthony Ramos. I wasn't crazy about their storyline. Didn't hook me in as much, though. I thought it was serviceable. But the stuff with Ezekiel
Yeah.
Stain and the stuff with her life, the stuff with her family, her friends, and her community all really worked for me. I like the fact that
Agreed.
they all came together at the stepdad's shop to help her build the suit. I love
That
that
was
shit.
that was so dope. Like it's like when we
Even
talk
the little
about
kid from the neighborhood came through.
right with the little wheelbarrow and shit. The fact that he showed up multiple times, I'm like, shot. Also, that kid was smart. He a hustler. He got a bright future ahead
Oh,
of him.
most definitely, yeah. Like, I look forward to whatever your next endeavors are, kid. But yeah, it was just a really underrated show, and the fact that she would choose to save her friend and bring her back because she had to lose her twice over. Of course, she did the very human thing of making a deal
It
that's at
it
the
was the
expense of herself for
same.
someone she loved.
It was the same day. Dog.
Yeah.
Like suit was still warm. You know, it's like which I maybe this is just me and my modern sensibilities, but I very much got limp wrist, sugar in the tank vibes from Riri. We ain't gotta keep forcing people to be straight, dog. This is not a straight girl. I'm sorry. This is a gay autistic black woman, if I have ever seen one. And I know a couple. Matter of fact, I have a good friend who is a married gay autistic black woman. One thing
So
was
did you, when she had her little thing with the with Natalie's
I didn't
brother, you're
believe
like,
that shit. They kept getting all close. It's like, yeah, you want to hang out. I'm like, this is y'all are trying to make this so romantic. I'm like, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it at all. Like, I remember being in Wakanda Forever when they both had their little braids. It's like, hey, yeah, come to the Shy. Let me take you to a Bulls game. I'm like, that's a date. That's a date, bro. To a basketball game, an NBA game, that's a date. You're dating. That's some gay
yeah.
shit, and that's okay. I'm here for it.
One of my homegirls, when she was dating, she would take someone she was dating to a Sparks game. The two of them just go
To a
watch.
Sparks game? That's turbo gay. You took me to a WNBA game? You about to lose your shotty to one of them fucking 6 foot tall Amazon basketball hoopers. Golly,
She had
it's
a
like
she had a
especially
season pass to the Sparks game, and she would go on dates there.
yeah, that's
I was like,
genius.
yeah, right.
But
I was
not
like,
a
yeah.
I got the vibe of we are bonding over our mutual grief for us sharing a loved one. It was not giving flirtatious. I know they were trying to make it. I just didn't believe it. I couldn't. Again, my bias of the shipping aside, I'm like, it felt forced because it's like, no, you
Okay.
sad, I'm sad. It's like that's a person. It's giving we fucked because we got something in common.
Mm.
But the something in common is grief. And it's just like I didn't get like, oh, they're both intellectually stimulating one another. There wasn't like enough time for them to really develop I mean, like there's a relationship there, obviously, because they both like shared Natalie. But there wasn't enough time to really dedicate to that being a potential romance. So that's what made it hard to believe. It's like, oh, you want to come to this slam poetry show? I got you these headphones. Yada yada yada. I'm like, yeah, this is somebody where I think there's a love there, but I very much get platonic vibe.
Interesting. Yeah, I bought it. I thought it was cute, but I definitely, that said, I don't believe she's straight. I think she's at the very least bi.
It
And
is the queer chick that's trying men really hard. Whereas like just she's trying to be straight. So it's like he's into her, she's trying to be into him. And that's not where your heart is, baby. It's 2025. Set your
embrace
heart ablaze, live your
embrace
truth.
embrace yourself, girl.
Right. Release your inhibitions, feel the gay on your skin. It's
No one else
okay.
can feel it for you. Only you can let
Can
it
let
in.
it in, right? I'm fucking saying. Like it's somebody that's very much, I guess, been the gateway to several lesbians. It's just like you just kind of know. It's just like, yeah, for sure. It feels like if he tried to kiss her, she'd kiss him, but it'd be that real stiff kiss, like It's like when you try to bite a pie and you know the pie don't taste good. Yeah, it's like it's not giving heterosexual, like you said, at minimum bi, but he about to go bi. It's not him either. I felt more chemistry between her and Ezekiel. And Ezekiel was like the most sexless motherfucker on that show.
Yeah, but they had great chemistry, great
They
platonic
did.
chemistry.
Cause like they were singing in the car, they had like witty banter back and forth. She was G checking him, he was G checking her. They were big up in one another. I got way more of a vibe between those two. That's more like rivals to lovers to enemies type, which I'd never seen no shit like that. But there's like I felt that more with him. It's like, but with the homeboy next door, it's like, yeah, that's your homie. That's your sup, big dog. Like it's like is Nat home? Like is my homegirl home? Like it's the vibe of well she's here.
Yeah, not to say that it doesn't happen, but yeah, for the brother, your best friend, and you to get
Yeah,
together.
man. You don't want to be smashing or dating nobody off the grief.
Right. That ain't gonna last long. That ain't gonna
That's
go well for
that's
you.
gonna be uncomfortable because next thing you know, you at the end of the date is like, man, I had a really good time, and then the trauma kick back in because like, yeah, I miss it too. Like now you both crying because you weren't
Both
supposed to be doing
emotional.
it. Yeah, it's like, look, we can go inside, we can pop this popcorn, we can watch these movies, we can hang out, we can hug, we can hold each other, but that's it. We just good friends. You fam. That's my best friend, like a sister to me. So what does that make you? Like a brother to me. Like we neighbors. It's like it's okay. It's like don't get me wrong. I am the first one that wants to see more representation of healthy black couples. They just were not believable. Go watch Forever.
Also, they put a Love Story or Love Life back on. They took it off HBO Max.
Shit, it's back.
And they put it on Netflix.
Okay, I'll take it.
They
Raggedy
they pawned it
assholes.
off to a different studio. Hey, but at least it's on somewhere.
Right. At
I
least
didn't I
now
didn't
I
get to
can.
watch. I got to catch up and watch those two seasons. But you watched them, right? You were a fan of those?
No, I haven't seen them.
Oh,
I just
okay.
I
With
just know they exist.
William Jackson Harper, yeah. But I
Yeah,
wanted to
yeah,
watch.
yeah. I
I've only
did
seen
too.
FD Signifier talk about it, but I tried to like keep light because I didn't want too many spoilers.
I get it.
But anyway, yeah, I really dug the show.
Yeah.
Sad. I hope we get the second season because Mephisto was really good. That twist was really strong,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, the show just deserves better, and I hope it gets better.
Yeah. Shout outs to Chinaka Hodge, who was the showrunner for this. They let a black woman cook, and cook she
And
did.
she's a poet. Yeah.
Right. But she fucking seasoned, fried, deep battered. She really cooked with this one. Also, I think I believe it is a all black woman writing team.
Oh, really?
I believe so. Hold up, who is this? They're all people of color, that's for sure. Oh no, okay. They're all black people. There's one episode that is written by a black man, Mir Sulaiman. Oh wait, maybe there's two. Hold up, who is this? In Martinez. Okay, there's two. They're all people of color, I should say. The showrunner is a black woman. All of the writers are people of color, and half of them are women, including Chinaka Hodge herself. So yeah, shout outs to them. It's like Slug, the person that you are. That motherfucker was about to have me caught up in a situation. I know that's not your speed, but Slug was very much my type.
Well, hey, you can hit them up. Well, not
I'm,
you're not gonna hit them up, but like,
Yeah, I'm trying to holla at they and them. Yeah, tilting the glass like, all right now. The lip gloss is lip glossing, but yeah, no, regardless. All right. We got anything else? We want to move on to the big ones now?
yeah, I think we tackled the housekeeping and stuff we wanted to get to. So
Yes.
I'm ready for the big ones.
Okay. Do we want to go in release order? Or not release order? So we're looking at July now. Do we want to do Superman first, or do we want to do Fantastic Four first?
That's tough. Let's go Fantastic Four first.
Okay, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Fucking twin telepathy kicked in. Okay. So first steps came out and it's pretty good. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Sue was a big standout. Silver Surfer was dope. Galactus was dope. The visual in the movie was, man, hire this again. Giacchino's score was phenomenal. The world and how they conceptualized it, especially with it being like Earth 838, which helped with a little bit of my suspension of disbelief. Full spoilers, by the way.
Oh, yeah, all the
We're
way.
going to talk about Superman later. Full spoilers for that, but right now, full spoilers for Fantastic Four. First steps, way too many F's. But it's like I loved the color, the production design that went into it, the music, the characterization worked for me in terms of them being a family. The performances all worked. I finally got it when I was leaving the theater that this version of Johnny, because I know a lot of people were kind of eyebrow raised at the casting. I'm like, oh, when you look at Johnny and you look at a hot guy from back in the 60s, that motherfucker Johnny looks like that.
Yeah.
So this is a retro futuristic version of the American 60s on an alternate Earth for reasons that I'm glad they made relevant and clear. But I'm just like, oh, that's why he's hot by 60 standards.
Right.
And I'm like,
yeah.
Well, it all makes sense now because everyone's like, well, why did they pick him? That's not Chris Evans. That's not Michael B. Jordan. When you realize is inspired by the 60s, yeah, that'd be a fine motherfucker for 1962.
True, right. No, he does have that
That Beach Boys swagger.
Beatles era mid 60s thing about him, even the way he dressed, the
Yeah.
hair about it. Yeah, it was cool. I guess it was kind of a strange thing looking at Johnny because I'm like, yeah, you're blonde and blue eyes, but a small part of me was like, I know those are contacts. I know that's a wig. But
Wig.
I still bought the character. Wig, eyes, those aren't your eyes. Contacts?
Yeah, no, it all worked very satisfyingly for me. There was one part that rubbed me the wrong way, and it was a dialogue choice that they made at the beginning that they literally did not have to do. It would be easier to take it out of the script. And it was at the beginning when they have the TV show that's going through all like the Fantastic Four's exploits. And Mark Gatiss is the host, and he's like, well, as we all know, the exploits of the Fantastic Four. And when they went into space, I'm like, you didn't have to say that.
Right.
The
If
one
we all know
dialogue
it, why are you telling it to us?
because it's a TV program, so don't start with "as you all know." Just say it's like, if you've been living under a rock, here's a crash test. Here's a recap of the exploits of our Fantastic Four. That's like it was just one minor tweak. I'm like, yeah, why did you? That's one of the few times I've caught one of those pieces where it's like, if we know it, why are you saying it? Which sucks because right after that is like a really dope sequence
Yeah.
where they like remade the comic covers and they're fighting Mole Man, who I was so excited to see. Paul Walter Hauser was perfect casting. They had what's it, Red Tornado or whatever his name was, with like the evil hypnotic monkeys.
Oh, Red Ghost.
Red Ghost, that's who it was. Who we didn't see, but we saw his monkeys. Red Tornado is a DC character. But it's like, that was good. I know I'm jumping around all over here. Their hyperspace jump sequence, like everything in space, god damn. Holy shit. You could feel it. God, it was so pretty. Yeah, Shala Ball, girl, take me away. I'm trying to herald the beginning, the end, the middle, the side. Shit. Which is funny because seeing her in Weapons, what's her actress name? Julia Garner. Julia Garner, I'm just like, she's having a good year because she was also really great in Weapons. She looks like Egon Spengler's granddaughter from Ghostbusters Afterlife, and I can't unsee it. That's what she looks like to me.
Grace.
She looks like Mackenzie Grace to me, but grown up, and I can't unsee it.
McKenna Grace.
But Julia Garner in this movie, I mean, I know some things about myself. This just kind of reinforced some things about myself that no one else needs to know outside of my fiance and my therapist. But yeah, no, it all overall worked for me. Just for God's sake, just one other minor nitpick. For God's sake, just give that man a unit. Stop with the patchy beard mustache shit. Put a beard on that motherfucker's face. We know he can't grow a full one. It's a different Earth. Just fill it in, please, for the sake of all that is holy. Put it
They
together.
kept they kept it light because they know he couldn't grow a beard.
Yeah,
Like,
they shaved the
give him a little
sides
5
and
o'clock shadow type of
yeah,
thing.
they gave him a 5 o'clock shadow and a mustache. Like, don't get me wrong, they're good. Pedro's good. He does a good job. But give him a full fucking beard. Just put that unit on that man's face. Look, you installed that unit on old boy's head. You can't give Pedro Pascal a full beard. Is that where the
Right.
technology ends? No, we know that. We can go to the Middle East and get a full beard, hair, and dick unit.
But now I don't know if they've done it in the comics, but like from promotional material that's like comic adjacent and like animated things and games, they are now making
Oh
other
yeah.
versions of Reed, the mustache Reed.
And I
You
just
try to be like, no, this is the normal now.
Nah, don't try to gaslight me. He was either clean shaven or had a beard. You know, it's like, now, granted, appearance wise, it's this Fantastic Four is interesting to me, where half of them don't look like what I would think of what I see in the Fantastic Four. The Thing, that is near impossible to fuck up. They even got that right in the 90s when they didn't have the technology for it.
Yeah.
So it's like The Thing, nearly impossible to fuck up. Invisible Woman, nearly impossible to fuck up. She got to be blonde with blue eyes. I don't care about the race. Get the hair and the eyes right, and we're golden. Is when it comes to Johnny and Reed. It's
I think
always
they did Reed well, but Johnny kind of looked like Johnny. I mean, as far as the aesthetics go, but
Johnny
Reed
looked
did look like
like
Reed.
it's like Johnny looked like a very specific window of Johnny Storm. It's like Johnny Storm from the years of like 1962 to 1974. Like, sure, that's a believable Johnny. This Reed is not because he's Chilean. It's because Pedro Pascal can't grow a beard. That's all it is. That's all it is. But it's like, now granted, what's his name? Eon Griffith still, I think, looks the most like Reed, even more than Stretch.
You know what's funny?
What
is that? Get this, Eon Griffith. Him and Pedro Pascal are the same age.
Get out of here!
Yeah,
ain't that something?
Right?
That's crazy. But yeah, it's
like damn, they're both 50. Like, I don't know if you would have, but like, he was a good Reed Richards. I think he did him well.
I would enjoy seeing that Fantastic Four back in Secret Wars, but one can only dream. Regardless, it's like that aside, my nitpicks aside of the cast, they do because that's why we were talking about trusting your team and having a good script. A good script and talented actors will give you, I'd say, a good movie. And I think it's a pretty damn good movie. They very easily could have fumbled this. I think they did what they wanted to do. So good on them. But I mean, what are your thoughts on it?
I really, really liked it. Also, quick aside, do you think Timothy Olyphant could have been a good Reed? He's in Alien Earth. You know this man.
He's in Alien Earth?
He's the cybernetic.
Oh wait, that I was wondering why that motherfucker looked familiar. He could be, he'd be a good Reed.
Yeah. He's got that classic like lanky thing about Reed.
Because I was watching the show and I'm like, who's this motherfucker over here that looks like
Billy Bob Thornton?
No. No, I thought he looks like what's the name of that director that just passed away?
Which one?
David
Lynch?
Yeah.
It's probably because of the hair, honestly.
It's the hair. Yeah,
I think that's the fact that they're white and have crazy white slash.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. Because when I looked at Timothy Olyphant, I thought he looks like a mix between David Bowie and David Lynch.
I could see that. I could definitely see that for sure. Yeah, what I will say about Fantastic Four is that it's interesting because I feel like Fantastic Four feels like a movie. It feels like a movie that's very, very tight. They intentionally made this motherfucker like an hour and 52 minutes, even though there's a cut. They try to gaslight us. But I remember when tickets first went on sale, all the ticket sites said the movie was 2 hours and 10 minutes. And when I checked it weeks later, it was 1 hour and 52 minutes. I'm like, some motherfucking shit.
Somebody's lying.
Somebody's lying here. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. You're not going to fool me, fucking AMC theaters. But when I finally got to the theater and watched it, I was like, you can definitely tell some stuff was cut out, and I would have liked that stuff to have been more present in the movie. That said, I do enjoy the movie we got. I like for the first time they felt like a family. I thought it was a smart
Mm.
move to introduce Franklin to kind of hammer that home. The fact that they have this small child to all bond over and take care of, it made Johnny and Ben feel like brothers and uncles, making Sue and have something to bond over, but also that same thing that they're bonding over is the thing that is causing a rift in their relationship because of their the way that they think and their views on the dilemma they have in hand. All that stuff is really strong. I like the fact that, like Superman, this is a unapologetically lived in world where they have
Yeah.
villains that they fought, and you see that in a little clip show, and they are these Earth's protectors, and you feel that they are these Earth's protectors, not only in the sense of being superheroes, but they are the Earth's trusted scientists. They are the Earth's trusted humanitarians. They do a good job of making both Sue and Reed feel valuable to the world. They are a power couple in
Mm.
the world of this 1960s. And I think that was really well executed. You believe Sue Storm in that role, which she is the heart of the Fantastic Four,
She
and
was so
I
fucking
felt
dope.
like this is the first time it's been done well. Because I feel like in the Tim Story one, she's more of just like a sex object with who
Yeah.
would have nude scenes and then just would be nagging at Reed all the time and just wanting her needs met. But in this one, they gave her more agency, which I appreciated. They show how powerful that Sue Storm is. I like
Mm.
that they found a smart narrative reason, because I remember reading an article. They were like, "Yeah, we're not gonna make Johnny as like girl crazy or like this womanizer in this movie," and I was like, "Okay, that's kind of a big part of his character. How are you gonna do that? Oh, you're gonna narratively tie him into another character that
Mm.
gives him purpose within the narrative to kind of speak to that tightness, making him want to go after Silver Surfer,
Hmm.
and as opposed to just fucking a rotating door of women.
Which is
So,
good.
so
They
multiple
made him smart
purposes.
too.
Yeah, they made him smart. They're like, okay, there's a reason why he was on that ship. He was like, he does have a mind, even though he's underestimated as being intellectually valuable. He's not really regarded in that way.
Mm.
But I think by far, the universal takeaway from this movie is the fact that the second act is incredible. Everything in space, from them going to Galactus to them escaping and trying to get back to Earth, is wild. It's kind of hilarious that we have two giant comic book movies that are redefining the current state of superhero movies, both coming out not only within the same week or within the same month, but
Hmm.
also having second acts that involve a baby and a black hole is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are the fucking odds of that? Granted, the
What
context for
are the
both of those is
odds?
very different, but they both involve trying to save a baby from and themselves from going into a black hole. One of them uses kind of
Mm.
goofy comic book logic. The other one tries to be scientific about it,
Mm.
and both takes are valid. I like that they finally got Galactus right, and the fact that he's just a big man that wants to eat planets, and if he
Mm.
can't have a planet, he'll settle for a baby because this motherfucker is tired. He been eating all his life. This nigga wants to rest, which
He's like, oh,
valid.
he got the worst case of bubble guts. It's like, oh, should have had that last planet boil.
Well, oh, you stupid. But yeah, bro, this man is backed up. He needs some galactic Pepto Bismol. My
Yeah, he needs
God,
some fucking galactade.
Galactade, yo, that's hilarious.
My stomach hurt. Did you see the
Oh,
practical suit they got for Ralph Ineson?
yeah, it looks dope. I thought it was really, really fucking cool.
It was very, very fucking cool.
The only other thing that I liked in the context, I liked in the movie, though it didn't entirely make sense, is the fact that Sue Storm was the one to push Galactus into the black hole with just, exerting so much energy that she's on the verge of death. But I was like, this nigga just put you into labor vision like like 2 hours ago, or like half an hour ago into the movie, even though it was like a month ago in their time. And he also
Right.
lifted up Silver Surfer with like a finger, but he doesn't do anything to contest or fight them in a major way. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like it was like a kind of a clean ending. Also, both movies had them evacuate the city so they can have a final battle.
It's weird. It's weird that it happened twice. in a lot of ways.
Yeah, yeah. But it's weird because I enjoyed both of them. And I think Fantastic Four left me with like a classic feeling of like, oh, the things we'll do to protect our family, you know, and but we have a duty to the world. So I maybe you can call it cheesy or whatever, but I like the
That's
fact that
okay. That's good.
no,
That's wholesome. It's
I'm happy
pure.
with the fact that it
Yeah.
is. I think that it spoke to this like simplistic 60s optimism, the fact that, you know, they went from we're gonna people think it's narratively dumb, but I'm like I kind of respect a little bit the fact that they were just honest with the public, like, yo, he wanted our baby, and we were like, nah, and then the world freaked out about it, and they're like, yo, we're not, and we know he wants our baby, we're not gonna give him his baby, we're not gonna let y'all die either, we're gonna figure it out.
No, no,
And
no, no.
then
You gotta say the quote. You gotta say the quote because that shit had me cackling in the theater. It's
wait,
like,
okay, wait, hold on. She was like, we're not gonna give up this world. We're not gonna give our baby for this world. We won't give up this world for our baby.
right now that was
Was that
corny.
the quote? Was
That
that?
was I'm pretty sure it's like yeah, something along those lines. That was pretty much it.
I
That shit
can't
was
remember
corny.
which one
That
it
shit
is.
that shit had me laughing because we were sitting in the theater. I'm just like, oh, but I'm not gonna give the world up for my son. I'm not gonna give the. she was smooth hitting that face
That Mew.
that mute Galactus.
Oh,
She was doing that shit. That Vanessa Kirby was on it. She killed that shit.
oh, sorry. Quick side thing. Speaking of the Mew, if you go back and watch the scene from No Way Home where Toby and Andrew try to consult Peter, Andrew Garfield hits the Mew hard as fuck in that one scene. This thing is like, go back and watch the YouTube clip of that scene. That shit has me dying every time. He's like, so that's the biggest Mew in the MCU, hands down. Oh my
what
god.
part of No Way Home was this?
Nigga, okay, go look. You can go click it right now. The YouTube's where the MCU Peter
Yeah.
meets the other Peters for the first time on the rooftop, and he's talking to him. And Andrew Garfield makes the face where he's looking down, he nods, and then he looks up, like he tilts his head up while he's like squinting at him. And I was like, "What the fuck?"
He had to let him know what he was about.
Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can find it.
Hold on,
That
you
shit is
said it was the
stupid.
scene on the rooftops.
There's a scene on the rooftop scene.
Okay, I think I found it.
Because I think that scene starts with MJ and them consulting. And as soon as
Yeah,
they come in,
yeah. Okay, showing. We'll get back to it in a second. Okay, he just
we know
talked to Toby.
you see him hit it.
Yeah, he talked to Toby. Andrew's coming out of the shadows.
Two times Spider-Man.
Yeah, and trying to see if I can almost scrub through it a little bit.
Hey.
Because they over here talking with the box and everything. They really did do their damnness to make Zendaya look fucking 14.
Okay, it's at 152. If you go to 152,
On
he's
the
yeah.
the Scene City one.
Hold on. Did you see it? Have you ever noticed that before?
Catch that in the edit. All these fucking screaming.
Have nobody made fun of that all these years? That scene is so funny to me.
Like, brother, who taught you that?
Right.
You over here about the ball his eyes?
Oh my god.
What the fuck was he even saying to gesticulate like this?
He was like, yeah, type shit.
This fucking crazy. Spider-Man going type shit. My god, that had me fucking hysterical. Fucking the fact that it'd be Peter doing it too. Miles just like, Pete, what we gonna do to save the city, dog? Hey, type shit.
We gonna do what we do type shit.
we gonna do whatever a spider can type shit.
Oh, that's fucking funny. I'm
Jesus
happy.
Christ. My god, that's so funny.
I'm happy I can bring that into your life so you can witness it.
Because there's no reason for him to make that fucking face. That is so funny. Shit. Oh my god.
Man. But anyway, back to the movie.
Okay, can I tell you about the scene that nearly broke my suspension of disbelief and they saved it with how they started the movie?
What was it?
So it was when they were coming up with the idea to put all them electrical outlets all across the planet so they could do the SpongeBob meme and take Earth and move it somewhere else. And my immediate thought, I had two immediate thoughts. One, it's like, we just need people to come together and, we're going to conserve all the energy to put into these batteries. My immediate first thought, boom, hospitals. Fuck you gonna do? Yeah, fuck you gonna do about that? Mad niggas are dying. Secondly, it was and this is what almost broke it, and then I realized it wasn't our Earth. And this is the cynic in me. I'm like, how the fuck did you four blue buffoons manage to get the entire planet to agree to help out everyone else? And then I realized that it was a different Earth. And I'm like, okay, I'll let it pass because it's not ours. If it was us, we would for sure die. But it's them. No. It's them. It's a different planet. So I could suspend my disbelief to think that this Earth trusts the Fantastic Four enough that they believe it would work.
If this was anywhere else but the Fantastic Four futuristic 60s where they're like Earth protectors, every other version of this, the entire world would have been like, fuck that baby.
Yeah.
We trying to survive.
Immediately, fuck your kid. Fuck that kid particularly.
I have a friend, he was like, yeah, Fantastic Four was ass. I just couldn't get behind it. What do you mean you're not going to sacrifice your baby? Fuck that baby. I was like...
Now, me, knowing Franklin Richards, I'm like, if it were anybody else's baby, I would also say, fuck that baby. This is Franklin Richards. So because I know who the fuck Franklin Richards is, I'm like, everyone except him. Because that baby is a menace. That baby is a threat. And y'all don't even know how much of a threat that baby is. That baby would cause problems. You will say fuck that baby. That baby will come back around the minute you try to give it to boop boop. It's like, how the fuck did he do? Did he know he could do that? It's like he cried and wanted his mama. Now he where his mama is. And that big purple cloud is back where he thought he was gonna be escaping from.
Right. Like, don't worry about it. The baby took care of it. Yeah. But yeah, to go to your point of what we're just talking about with the move it over here shit. Like, when I was in theater and I saw that, I was like, is this how they're about to do it?
I thought so too.
I was like, is he gonna fuck up the calculations and move his Earth over in the MCU, and then that causes an incursion, and that's what our event is?
That's exactly what I thought was gonna happen too. They were gonna poof that bitch right next to us. And it's like, right, shit, call Doctor Strange.
And then like, oh, okay. And then I thought the ship that was in Thunderbolts was gonna be like them trying to be the liaison to go check out Earth.
Yeah, or they fucked up and they, trying to send the ship over because their Earth got destroyed, which shout outs to Matt Shackman. I guess he figured those would be the two first things everyone would guess and not just push his big silly ass into the black hole. It's like, yeah, I guess you could do that as well.
And it sucks because watching this movie, being an active Chronic Online MCU fan, both helped and hurt the stakes of this movie. Because on one hand, you're like, they're going to have to end up in the MCU somehow, so Galactus going to eat this motherfucker at some point. So, like, y'all can try to save the world as much as you want to. That's what I'm thinking the whole time, right?
Yeah, he about to get his lick back something heavy.
Right, when they push Galactus into the hole, I'm like, okay, well, I guess that was like a clean sort of classic 60s way of handling the problem. But then Sue's dad, I'm like, nigga, I saw her chair. I saw the video. What do you mean?
She's a ghost. Try to act like she a ghost. She the real Invisible Woman now. She a ghost.
Right.
She's haunting this nigga Reed from beyond the grave.
Right. I'm like, nigga, y'all didn't need to put out that production video. Y'all could have waited.
We're getting another one.
Stakes for Thunderbolts, and that ruined the stakes for Fantastic Four because like we know they're going to be in it.
So well, we're getting another one this week.
What do you mean?
We're getting another chair. Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe another casting announcement is supposed to be the 27th, which we didn't talk about when it happened because it was so much non-news. That was one of the funniest days on social media to see a bunch of fucking nerds sit on YouTube watching a 3-hour live stream of chairs.
Yeah.
Like,
that was great.
If I flash a job application, will they scatter like roaches? Like
yeah, I wasn't tuning into that shit.
I didn't even know this shit was going on until I went to Threads and everyone's like, oh my God, Tana Huerta's coming back. Holy shit. They got Pedro Pascal in here. Shit, it's fucking Vanessa Kirby again. Whoa! I'm like, Nigga, it's chairs. Settle down.
Chairs. Like, it's
Settle
not even
down.
them. Not only is it not them, it's not even them in costume. What are we freaking out about?
It's just saying where they gonna be resting their asses in between filming.
Exactly. So yeah, so even knowing that, I mean, I wasn't part of the chair thing. I would peek in like every once in a while, like, oh, okay, cool, that person's in this. Oh, okay, cool, that person's in this. But actively sitting all day for hours with the fucking slow dripping, releasing the chairs, I'm like, ain't nobody got time for that. But
yeah, August 20th.
okay, cool. Yeah, I just didn't buy the stakes of that, but I did like the mad scientist risk taking possibility, or the fact that Reed Richards is ever curious, and sometimes his curiosity can take him places that are dangerous for the well-being of the people he cares about in his world. And I felt like that scene of him having a crazy scheme to move the entire earth, not taking into considerations of the ecosystem and like the planetary alignments, and how that could affect like the climate of, like,
I
not
mean,
thinking about that shit because of
hospitals
like,
and planes was the first thing that came to mind. Hospitals and
okay,
planes. Niggas are dying.
oh yeah, for they're dying for a good cause, for the longevity of the human race.
That bitch is about to be turned into the Langoliers. We got on a flight and wound up on a whole different Earth.
Right.
We got on the plane at 2. We got off the plane at 12. What the fuck happened? Where's my house?
Yeah, so the simplicity of it, and the fact that the entire world was willing to help out, was sort of like this fantasy, and was kind of charming, of like, oh, harking back to an idealistic, optimistic time of unity.
Yeah.
That is a Earth that isn't our Earth, and a time that isn't our time. So I've talked to some people that are like, yeah, that would never happen. That's so unrealistic. But I'm like, I think that's kind of the point. Is that it's fantasy. We live in this world that is a bit more simplistic in, like, how you treat your neighbor or whatnot, and obviously a far cry from what we know to be the sad normal of today. So yeah, it truly was an escapist version of the Earth. And you know what, I respect it for living in its fantasy of that kind of world, and truly felt like something unique amongst the sea of MCU movies. Granted, each one does have its own voice, but the fact that this was a world that was removed from the one that we know primarily added to the stakes. And yeah, I think it was a tighter movie. I feel like it didn't make me feel as much. I feel like it was weird, because I feel like the movie is tighter and more focused, and has clear intentions for what it wants to be. Whereas Superman has more charm to it, has more big scenes and moments and memorable scenes to it, but overall is a lot more messy. But
It takes a lot more swings.
it does take a lot more swings. Whereas this is classic superhero, classic explorers, and it is safe in its traditionalism, whereas Superman is a little bit more unconventional in its presentation and its structure. That said, I have issues with Superman, but I largely like that movie as well. But we will get into it
Yeah,
when it's
we'll get to that in just a sec. I mean, we had the post credit scene, which was Doom playing with Franklin. We got confirmed that was Downey as Doom, which is fine. I mean, we just saw a cloak, so I didn't really tell us shit. But yeah, to your point, it's like, I think it's a very good. It had to be. This movie was what Fantastic Four in the MCU had to be. It was fresh but familiar. It was safe but not overly predictable in terms of its narrative. Good acting, great production, like digitally, but also set design, costume design, had nice
score.
reference score, so it all worked. So it's like, it had to be what it needed to be, which was a good, maybe even, maybe a great Fantastic Four movie, which
Yeah.
has been apparently hard to do. And I think one of the things I like with the world being lived in is that how they overcome issues is from a family dynamic. So like,
Yes.
even the relationship between like Johnny and Ben is a lot more brother like, or they'll tease each other and be playful, but you can tell it comes from a place of like love. Like
Yeah.
they're there for each other. Like Johnny, instead of being like a typical playboy, it reminds you, oh yeah, this motherfucker's an astronaut too. We forget that because most of the other adaptations we've seen were just like, oh well, here's the goofy brother that's just tagged along with. No, you have to be pretty fucking smart to be an astronaut. So it would make sense that if he could take time and figure out a whole space language. He's a smart guy. He's just like actually goes and enjoys his life, eats dinner outside the fucking house, unlike his brother-in-law, and he'll go on a date every now and then because he has a personality. It's like, oh, that's right. Smart people can be attractive. We forget that sometimes.
Yeah. They're out there, man. They're
There's
not just
plenty
known
of
for their
them.
pretty looks. Plenty
Smart
of
people.
them.
Let me clarify. Smart people can be in STEM and be attractive. They're not.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Dr. Raven Baxter, absolutely drop dead gorgeous, fine as hell. She's like a microbiology doctor.
What?
Yeah. She's like a doctor of, I believe, microbiology, and I think she did her research in cancer studies. She's hot as hell, super duper smart, had rap songs about STEM. So it's like, oh, that's right, Johnny, the gentle reminder that you can be hot and be in STEM and be capable.
Look up Dr. Raven.
Her name is Raven Baxter, or look up Raven the Science Maven.
I know. I looked up Raven Baxter, and that's how Raven came.
Yeah, that is her government name. It's the same name.
Okay, yeah. Look at her.
Yeah,
she's awesome.
Yeah, very cool, very smart. But yeah, it's just it. I walked out of Fantastic Four being like, man, that was a good movie with good themes about family, and it worked. And that baby doesn't have a drop of melanin in it. We're not gonna talk about it. Fucking Reed's
There's one
genes.
drop of melanin. There's that one lady.
No, I meant Franklin.
Oh no.
Yeah,
No,
Franklin's genes got cooked, but yes, they're. I believe she's the CFO of the Future Foundation. Like she's really fucking important.
Oh,
and they just kind of glazed past it.
She did have she was always up there with her. Yeah, that's right. She been in a lot of shit. She was in F1.
Yeah.
She's in Ted Lasso. Yeah, she's in this.
Yeah, but
I just
like
realized I was all the same lady. Oh damn.
Yeah, her character is like really important to the Future Foundation. She's either the CFO or like CEO of the Future Foundation. It's like, I'm fucking sorry. What? That's crazy. The only issue is you're standing next to the within the movie.
She like, yeah, no, her role was crazy as far as like her title and shit.
Yeah, like her title, like yeah, like Lynn is like really fucking important to. But it's she's the chief of staff. Okay, that's still really fucking important.
Oh, she's been working. She's been working a lot lately. Good for her.
Yeah, good for I think her actress's name is Sarah Niles. But yeah.
Hello? Okay. Yeah.
All right.
But,
do we want to go to the Superman?
We should go to the Superman.
All right. I mean, Superman's probably top 5 of the year for me. So we're now we get to the debating part of the show. Where we have different opinions on Superman because I came out loving it. It was such a breath of fresh air to just see. For some reason, I was joking about this at the conference I was at. I'm like, it's funny that people are getting mad over Superman because apparently the concept of a classically attractive 6 foot tall white guy being kind to people just breaks suspension of disbelief. Apparently, it's like, well, no, it's like, there's no way somebody can be all of those things at the same time. White and kind? Huh? This is not the way that...
attractive and a good man?
What? Yeah, not the way this country is going.
Shit, man.
Listen, we can save that for sinners.
I think as far as conversation goes, there's definitely a lot more to dive into with Superman.
Yeah.
And the many different aspects Superman is a moment, Superman
it was an event.
Has a lot more hype. People definitely backed it up more financially. Not only did that show in its opening weekends between this and Fantastic Four, but also its following weekend. Because Fantastic Four dropped off fucking hard its second weekend. It did not do well in subsequent weeks.
What came out after it?
After Fantastic Four?
Yeah, because it was the second last week in July.
Nothing major, but we had We had Jurassic World this month. We ain't
talking about that shit. The 4th best Jurassic World movie.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I don't have a lot to say about that movie.
It was mid, it was middle. It was the middle of the Jurassic World movies. But yeah, sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, but as far as Superman goes, Superman was a really different kind of comic book movie for the sake that it treated it like a comic or a show. It gives us a little opening crawl, throws us into the middle of a current Superman situation,
Mm-hmm.
and breaks that traditional thing of needing an origin story or needing to establish its the beginning of its stakes at the beginning of its movie. At least you spend time setting stuff up and then spend the rest of the time dealing with those falling consequences. And I feel like that it helps and hurts the movie
Mm-hmm.
for me, um, because my okay, I'm gonna talk about the things I like before I criticize the movie. I really loved David Cornsweet as Superman. I think the scene that cements him as this generation Superman is the scene with him and Lois
The interview
in
was
the
so
apartment. The
good.
interview scene was amazing. You get to see his charm, you get to see his passion, you get to see what irritates him.
Mm.
You get to see his perspective, and there's a lot of interesting things here on the table. Lois Lane is amazing. I'm like, why did it take so long for us to get a great Lois Lane in a movie? Good Lois
I
Lane
don't
in
know.
film since Margot Kidder, which is kind of
Oh,
insane.
I was about to say, I'm just like, hey man, we got to put respect on Bitsy Tulloch because she was doing her fucking thing in Superman and Lois. But you said in film, carry on, and we're not counting the animated ones. That's a whole other. The whole
No, yeah, yeah, in film.
now,
Um,
if James Gunn was a real psycho, was a real crazy ass motherfucker. If he gave Lois the purple eyes like she had in the comics recently,
oof,
would have
that'd
taken
be
this movie
dope.
to a whole would have been a whole nother level. But she has normal human eyes, so hey. But that would have been
Yeah,
crazy. That would have been crazy if he did that. That would have been a ballsy move.
that would have been mad ballsy. She did wear a purple shirt at the end though, so they
She
do
did. She
homage that purple was Lois's color.
yeah.
Um, Yeah, I also really liked Lex Luthor, though there are some aspects about his character I wish could have been tweaked to kind of hammer home the intention of his character.
Get your bald ass in the car.
Just smack it
Just
right quick.
get your bald ass in the car, baldy, bald headed ass. It's like, why did he say it like that?
Yeah, and I think we
Doing the
we
fucking most.
we go to the movies to experience a story, but also to escape and to feel. And I think at the end of the day, a lot of people left this movie really feeling good, really feeling something. I feel like my first viewing, you have to understand the context in which I went into this with. I had
Mm,
been dealing with a lot of stressful situations at home and financial stress as well. But also prior to that, I was in Ohio for 2 weeks and I just binged
man.
all different Superman movies. I'm talking the Reeves movies, the Henry Cavill movies. I watched like a season of the animated series from the 90s. I peeped some Lois and Clark. I peeped a little bit of Smallville. So
Oh,
I
I'm
was just
sorry. You watched Lois
consuming.
and Clark with the worst Superman, Dean Cain.
Oh yeah, no, I only watched one episode. I'm like, this is all I need. I get the gist.
I've seen enough.
Yeah,
I know where it goes from here down.
I understand it. Your seat's a little bad. Anyway, he is
Oh
the
yeah,
worst
that's
Superman.
his suit was ugly as shit.
Real bad. I'm like, how'd you fuck that up? But anyway, yes, and I also loved Mr. Terrific. He was the standout of the movie, and I feel like this movie is has a lot of great moments, has great characters, and it's tough because I can easily see one person saying this is a criticism, like, oh, they didn't give us enough of this thing. But I can also see other people being like, oh, I'm happy we had that. I just want more of it. Not like I like what we received; it was sufficient. But I want to see more of that going forward. Versus, I wish that was more prevalent in the film.
Mm,
And I'm kind of in both camps on that department. But yeah, to get into I guess some of my criticisms, or
mhm.
what, I'll let you get your positives off before I go into my critiques.
Yeah, I mean, it all just because I'd watched for the first time the original Superman '78 movie, and that great fucking film holds up remarkably well. Like even with the effects being dated, it didn't break any of the suspension of disbelief for me. I'm just like, yeah, they're old effects. This still looks really damn good.
Yeah,
So going into Superman 2025 again, it wouldn't have taken much. It really didn't. But it all, I mean, the Bradley Cooper jump scare was certainly a surprise. But it all worked for me. Like Corn Sweat was great. Brosnahan was great. Old boy, I had just finished watching Righteous Gemstones about a month before the movie came out. So the dude that played Jimmy,
Jimmy Olsen.
yeah, he was dope. How they subverted Cat Grant, I think I really liked the more I thought about it. So when it sat with me, it stayed very well. Like the
What do you mean
casting
how
for
they
this,
subverted her?
not Cat, Tess, Eve Tessmaster. Sorry, they didn't do anything with Cat, but have her be hot and walk in slow motion. My character's mix. So it's the subversion of Eve of basically being like she wasn't just the hot arm candy. She was actually a lot more clever than people give her credit for. Which I'm like, oh, that does happen to women a lot in any industry. So I'm glad they managed to do. It's like even in a subtle way, that was nice. Casting of his parents was well, okay. His Earth parents was perfect. His Kryptonian parents was I'm like, Brad, you just be showing up places, huh, bro?
You just
But
here, huh?
he just here. The Justice Gang was fun. Like you said, Mr. Terrific was a standout. I guess it was partially a critique before we get into like more critiques. I liked the fights. I think they were well choreographed, but those 360 shots, like it's good because they don't happen in a lot of other movies, but like pretty much every fight does a 360 at this point. And by the end of the movie, like it didn't help that I was dehydrated and had alcohol, which added to the headache. But I got a terrible headache. When I got to the end, I'm like, James, this is good, but I can't do any more spinning, man. I want off this ride. But that said, they were well choreographed. Like the Ultraman reveal was very much a gasp. Oh my god. It is exactly who I knew it would be. But how they kind
Oh,
of
that's crazy.
it's like, damn, that's so crazy that you look exactly like Ultraman should look. I liked, Baldy is a bald ass in the car. As Lex, he was good. It's crazy to think that he auditioned for Superman. I mean,
Yeah, right.
I respect any actor that would go out for an audition, but that's like me going out for Black Panther. It's not to say that it couldn't happen, but you would be surprised if it did.
Yeah, and I'm like, he made it far too into the casting for Superman. He was like
Yeah.
the top 3 or 4.
Which that almost feels like it was deliberate. It's like, man, yeah, you're making it to the final round. So now that you can really hate him, we're going to make you Lex. It's like, man, it's between you, Nicholas Holt, talented actor that's played a lot of very impressive villainous roles and character roles, or this unknown guy that just looks like
It sounds like him.
it looks like him and sounds like him and is built like him and can also act his ass off. It's not that Nicholas Holt can't act his ass off because he did act his ass off.
He
And then you
did.
have David Cornsweat, who's just fucking Superman.
He's literally just that dude. Just acts and looks like that dude.
Like Nicholas Holt, you'd be like, wow, Nicholas Holt is doing a good job as Superman. And then here walks in fucking Superman. Pre-made, pre-built, big as a shit brick house. Yeah, just there he is. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, we got him. Yeah, he's right over there. But yeah, no, it's just like the lived in aspect of the world when the implications set in about his anger about Crypto being kidnapped, aside from the fact that he's just like Clark's just a nice empathetic guy to the point where he's saving squirrels, which I thought was adorable. The unspoken aspect of being a comic book nerd, knowing that him saving that dog probably saved Lex's life without hyperbole, because Clark is the one with all the nice, happy, healthy moral code. Kara's the stronger one that's unfucking hinged, and that's her dog. So
Yeah.
when he crashes out talking about where's the dog, I'm like, yeah, no, that makes sense, because the person that dog belongs to was not raised in Smallville.
No.
She wasn't raised to value human life. That hoe is from Krypton. I'm the hoe that's from Earth. You don't want the Kryptonian one to fly her ass back here to find out that you fucked with her dog.
Right. And break your fingers like they Kit Kats.
Fingers, kneecaps, spine, earlobes. She's gonna put hurt on you in deep, unusual, and medically complicated ways.
Oh yeah. And she's drunk?
And she's
Forget
drunk. Right. Like she gone off that liquor and coming down. But that's like, yeah, no, I think the theme in the message was so heavy, especially we'll get into the political discourse of it all too, because that was like, I know writers out there that like to use subtext and they're all cowards. Yeah, I think it's just like it's such a bright spot, not just in the world, in movies. The era of film has been so cynical as of late that obviously there's like critiques and criticisms you can make for, like we were saying earlier, it takes a lot of swings. It's a very ambitious movie.
It's like what?
It does what it can to be very like
Yeah,
I was saying it's like it's very ambitious. It takes a lot of swings. It tries to be,
yeah,
you know, but it's like it's genuine, and that heart I think is doing a lot of the carrying of my opinion of it, because everything is through, I think, a veneer of critique or feedback or cynicism, which I think is good commentary. But it's like it's just nice. This and Fantastic Four is kind of companions. It's nice to go through the lens of just, it's not saying that complexity doesn't exist and that there's no room for nuance. It's just people that want to do the right thing because it's right and they respect people. The morals and principles are very, very simple. And the fact that that's just not respected, that it always gets into, it's like, well, if you dig into the nuance of the themes, no, just don't be an asshole. Like that's part of why that the interview scene works so well, is part of the culmination of that is just people were going to die. The fact that that's controversial, that why did you save those lives? That's illegal. People were going to die. I was trying
right.
to stop people from dying. The fact that that's controversial in the real life is kind of crazy, but I understand, because then it's, like I'm saying, it's like, everything has nuance.
Ben Shapiro.
So just, I don't know. It left me feeling really good, I think is why I'm very, very light on the critique of it. Like, honestly, my biggest critique is probably like some of the VFX. Not that they're bad. There's just a couple times it seems a little rubbery, which is strange because it's like it's well shot. It's super bright. Eddie Kathegi is terrific. Is fucking terrific. It's just, I don't know. I think it's just the house that James Gunn goes through for visuals. Whoever it was, there were just a couple scenes that seemed a little unintentionally artificial, which it seemed weird. But it's like how it's shot, how it's set up, and everything is super interesting. I'm just like, oh, okay, now we're in like the CG fight, and they used real people because I've seen some of their BTS. I'm like, why does it look off? So I can't just fully get to it, but yeah, I mean, what were your feedback to it, your critiques of it?
Okay, before I get into my feedback, let's get into my I guess more minor things. I'm not a huge fan of the flying face cam. It's not it's not my favorite.
I mean, I will say I never came around on the suit. It never grew on me. That whole process, like early on, I think we had talked when it was first reviewed. I'm like, I don't think I like it, and then I left it. I'm like, nope, still don't like it. Everything in this movie is great. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Maybe it'll
It's
change in
too
future
much.
movies. I mean,
I hope
hell,
so.
if it gives you
I
any
pray to
hope,
God.
if it gives you any hope, Kara's suit has changed some from the scene in Superman to her own movie because
Yeah,
on
they
the
changed
poster she has a
the
different
belt.
suit. Changed
Yeah,
the
they
belt
changed
and the
the
texture of her skirt as well. I think her shoes
yeah
a little bit, and I
yeah.
think the size and placement of the crest is also different. But the things that I am, I guess, more bothered by. Oh, two. Okay, another
That
minor
nigga's
thing
too
before I get.
happy.
No, no. Yeah, I mean, what's up with all that joy? Shit.
Why is he
One of,
joyous?
another thing, I've seen the movie 4 times, and it still doesn't make a ton of sense to me why um, the leader of Baravia, even though he's working with Lex, he like publicly denounces the Hammer of Baravia. And I was like, why? Why? What's the intent behind that? And then it just, I guess within the context of the scene that it plays in, it's to play into the conversation between Lois and Clark and Jimmy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
Is
literally
it
a couple
like
scenes later,
disavowing metahumans? Maybe.
I don't know. He's like, no, the hammer. He's like, the hammer Bravia does not represent us. That is an independent operating thing. But you're working with Lex, so you know what's happening behind the scenes. So why
Oh
are you?
no, that makes sense. That's a political stance. Like you can't associate yourself with what is ostensibly a vigilante.
Okay. Okay.
Like,
I thought he was
yeah,
like an
like,
official. He was supposed to be a representative of Moravia, but I guess it's just
yeah.
an Indian. Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, he would be fundamentally it'd be like if there was a guy out there calling himself Captain America, the government can't associate with like Captain America officially,
I
like
see.
publicly, because
Okay.
he's enacting vigilante justice unsanctioned. That means that you can incur like a bunch of international shit by essentially saying, "Hey, here is our state sanctioned superhero flying over to America fighting an alien."
Okay.
You get into a lot of dicey shit for that.
Okay. Another minor thing. I wish there was some narrative through line slash consistency with Rick Flag Senior, because it seems like he's just a different dude in everything he pops up in, and including Peacemaker season
You know what?
two.
That's a good point because yeah, we're recording this the day after season 2 started.
I'm like, is this the same day that was in Creature Commando? Are we sure? Like
I mean,
James
going
Gunn, he
off his
wrote all of
hair
these. Yeah, I mean, I guess I see more of a through line between Superman and Peacemaker than I do Creature Commando with either of those things. But maybe references will be made to those projects somewhere down the line. I don't know. But after my actual criticisms of the
yeah.
movie, so I walked into Superman extremely excited, and I didn't feel that hopeful thing until like my second and third viewing. And I was like, why do I not feel this overwhelming sense that a lot of people are getting? And I
Because you're a good
feel
person. It doesn't apply to you.
no. I mean, stupid.
You have a heart.
Uh, No, and I was realizing that I wish there was more. There's two things. My big thing, my two biggest critiques of the movie are with Superman himself in his arc and with Lex's presentation.
Okay.
Now, not physical presentation, but like how he shows up through the movie.
Yeah.
Clark Kent in the first act of the movie, via Lex Luthor breaking into his lab or breaking into the Forge of Solitude, discovers along with the world that his parents are not what he believed them to be. For 3 years, he operated under the guise, with very little information, that my parents have sent me here to do good, to be a hero, and those are the morals I live by. Those are the things I stand by. I watch their tape every fucking day because that's how much I believe in the gospel of this corrupt message my parents have sent me. And
Right.
then discovers that the rest of it is not what he perceived it to be. I imagine that would really fuck you up and like make you question everything about yourself, what your heritage is, what your parents are, or your sense of purpose, right? And I think, the way that it wraps back around with Jonathan Kent and that stuff is good.
Mhm.
And I know that I'm of two minds of it. I like this intention, but then I've heard other people bring up interesting points. I was like, huh. I mean, I guess I understand why it was changed, but I think that I guess could be a little damaging. But I'll get into that in a little bit. That happens. We find out, first of all, the entire city, after saving from a kaiju, is immediately like, fuck you, Superman. Fuck you. You're here to fucking take over us. But
They
hold on, let me
did
say
turn
that
on him really fast while he was like holding that little
mad
black
quick.
girl. He's holding
Mad
this
quick.
adorable little baby. He's like, get away from my fucking child, you monster, you freak.
Exactly. I'm like, he literally just saved y'all, bro. And then he
And
goes,
that's more what Earth is like. Not that Fantastic Four, we are the world bullshit. They
right.
motherfuckers be fickle. It's like, oh, he trying to get a harem of hoes.
Gasp.
Can I be one?
Right. No, I love how the internet's been responding to that.
Right.
I just wish that was more prevalent in the film. That because I that's the interesting thing for me. Because again, I just came off of watching a bunch of Superman media, and that is a clear deviation from everything I've seen up to this point. So I thought that arc was a different, interesting way to separate this version of Superman from other iterations of Superman. And the fact that we went and did a side quest to save a dog and a baby in the second act rather than explore that for him emotionally was a disservice to
Okay.
the believability of his journey for me. But that said, I do like in a bubble the weirdness and comic bookiness of the metamorpho
Mm-hmm.
side quest that he has. I think what would have made that story be sing for me a little bit more is one, when he goes to the Fortress of Solitude and he sees Gary, if before he calls crypto he goes to check the damaged computers and verifies that message himself to confirm that it's real, because he
Okay, I
just
can
kind of
agree. I
takes
can agree with that. I can agree with that one.
because he just takes Mr. Terrific's word for it. He's like, yeah, I know these forensics guys, they're not messing around, or like they wouldn't lie about stuff like this. I'm like, maybe Lex Luthor, I don't know, paid them off. So there's no, Superman himself never verifies it directly.
Which I know James Gunn came out and said that it is true and that we're supposed to believe Mr. Terrific. But here's the thing about people with platforms. Just to make a long story short, niggas lie
He's
all
like,
the time to our face
yeah,
every day, everywhere you go. People have lied for less.
yeah,
Like
exactly,
people have lied over shit that don't make sense. People have lied about this movie prior to it being come out. People lie all the time in
right,
public. So
on
it's
the
like
daily,
on the daily, even if would I have reason to believe Mr. Terrific, one of the smartest, if not the smartest man on the planet? For sure. Show me the video. Show it to me.
right.
So
Let Superman verify it himself.
I can agree with that one because even I was like, why would I believe Lex Luthor?
Right, exactly.
Why would I believe that he's telling the truth about this? The man that
Yeah,
has a pocket dimension full of
right.
his exes.
Yeah, crazy type shit. So the other thing that was bothering me is that so he immediately goes to the Fortress of Solitude to verify that he goes into Lex's office to ask where the dog is, and then it kind of cuts, so we don't really see how that scene resolves because it just
Mm.
cuts to news footage and like turns into a joke. Which the joke was funny, but I'm like, let's not continue to end our conflicts between Superman and Lex Luthor with a humorous button. Let's let that scene breathe. Let's let those scenes play out because they did it in both confrontations that were face to face between them. So when he goes to talk to Lois, the first time I saw it, I was like endeared by the conversation, but also bothered that Superman was just letting shit happen in the background. But after a couple times seeing it, I'm like, okay, no, this is a world where things are established. Still bothers me a little bit because during the scene where they were saving the kaiju, it was established that yes, he knows the Justice Gang, but he doesn't approve of their methods of how they solve problems. Because they be hurt motherfuckers, they be killing things. So for him to actively see something and know that these are the same guys that were just fucking poking a kaiju in the eye, I imagine he
Yeah.
would want to take care of creatures with a little bit more care. So the contrast of him having this scene with Lois, well, those are happening in the background because he's like, they got it. I had trouble suspending my disbelief the first time I watched that, but
So
the scene has grown on me.
I think what makes it a little bit that this may be an extrapolation and an assumption of the text just because I know more than like an average non-comic book reader would. There's two potential things. One, because he said it's an interdimensional imp,
Yeah,
so his ability to fight that thing would actually be very very limited in comparison to now. Again,
because magic, right?
because magic. And also, there's a there's people have theorized that that's Mixus Pitlick, who is an interdimensional imp. But yeah, fundamentally, it's kind of like the. I think that to your point, that is not explicitly stated in the text nor implied through the movie. That is external. That's inference essentially. So your argument still holds, but so it can seem negligent, and I can see why that would rub you the wrong way. It is also a case of just like knowing the character and his limitations, he probably wouldn't be able to fight that thing. And I think for me, it read as he trusts them. I mean, he trusts them enough to show up in fucking Peacemaker, but he trusts the Justice Gang to handle that situation, especially given how he moves. So they would probably handle it the same way that he would or could. But it's like it's one of the risks that we kind of take. But
So
I don't think you're wrong for having your pointer seeing it how you see it because it's not in the text of the movie. So
yeah,
what are you
and
gonna do?
by the end of that scene, when he's about to go off, you see that that battle is done and they've captured them. So
Yeah.
they from the beginning of that scene to the end. Also, and I'm sure maybe this is a comic book thing. This nigga just has an apartment with an open window. It's just like nigga, do you not use AC?
I'm more so wondering what salary is he getting on a journalist paycheck to have an apartment in Metropolis with floor to ceiling windows?
Right.
Like, I
Crazy
think it
work.
was a studio, but nigga, what kind of money are you making? Perry
Right.
is paying his people handsomely.
Clear fucking Lee. Yeah, we go from that revelation to then going to check the Fortress of Solitude, to then going to realize that crypto's gone, to then immediately him turning himself in to save crypto. And because of the crypto conflict, the crypto situation, it takes the character and the audiences away from the attention of the fact that his identity is shaken. And I wish that in that second act of the film with the pocket dimension and him being trapped with Metamorpho being put in a compromising position because of his child being in danger. I wish we would have let those two characters at least have a scene together where it is simultaneously allowing Superman to explore his feelings about what he just heard about and allowing Metamorpho to develop a sense of courage and softness and affinity for Superman. Not
Right.
all the way, but at least
Oh
start
yeah.
that process, right? So imagine Superman venting, but also extending kindness to Metamorpho in the face of him poisoning Superman, actively poisoning Superman, and Superman continuing to be kind to him. And then the straw that breaks the camel's back to be like, okay, I'll help you, even though I'm afraid, is the guy getting shot. I feel like that would have made that sing a little bit more, would have serviced Clark's arc a little bit more, but also served Metamorpho more in the believability that he just shows up to jar and pour as well because of that entire development of the relationship that was established in that second arc of the movie. Then, even though he's still having that crisis of faith, allowing it to come home with the Clark Kent, with the Pa Kent scene, I think would have allowed that to hit by heart a little bit more. I can't say that for everybody else, but I felt like the movie was taking a detour from something major. The other thing that bothered me was Lex Luthor, and the sense that, like, I love Nicholas Holt's performance. I think he's a D1 hater. He comes across as a snivelly little bitch because it's tough, right? Because on one hand, we get an unapologetic bad fucking guy. We
Yeah.
get a guy who is just evil from head to toe, mean, narcissistic, petty on every level, and that stuff is great. But the reason stated for him being like that is crucial. The fact that he is jealous of Superman because his presence dwarfs Lex Luthor's importance and significance in the world. At least he perceives it to be that way.
Right.
He wants to be the most important guy. He wants to be Earth's champion. He wants to be praised. He wants to be a king. Now, he's getting that fantasy semi fulfilled, or at least his plans to get that fulfilled by being half the ruler of Jaranpur. But that's something Lex Luthor, I guess, kind of direct addresses in a line, but it's
It's
not
a
a
little
huge
more
part of the story.
consequential.
Right? Yeah, but the movie, I feel like, could have made a stronger parallel between Lex Luthor making that, having that be his intention, while also condemning Superman for being the thing that he's trying to be. Because the condemnation of Superman is he wants to be king of Earth, whereas Lex Luthor himself is the one who wants to be king of Earth by starting with a small step of Jaranpur. And I wish that Lex Luthor had a more forward facing role in trying to win over the public because he wants the love, he wants the adoration, he wants the respect that he feels is just freely given to Superman. And I wish that this Lex Luthor were, granted, he pops up on the news and like says that he wants to hear him, but who the fuck is this Lex Luthor to the people? He's just a guy on the news, just a bald businessman in a suit on the news. I
Just a
wish that
bald
he,
nigga.
yeah, I wish there was like maybe some sort of B plot where he was like trying to be the mayor or like being one way in public and people like loving him and believing him versus how he is in private, where he's just this horrible fucking guy. That way, when he's exposed at the end by the Daily Planet, it hits harder because his facade has been shattered. And now his chance of being loved by the public has now been diminished greatly, and the world now loves Superman again, only fueling his fire and disdain for Superman for just being.
So I think to your criticism, I think my argument against it is the point of Lex, at least in this movie, is it runs as deep as ultimately he is just a hater.
Yeah. And I think that, but that
So,
speaks
so,
to my point as well.
well,
Is
I
that
think
he is a hater. He's jealous of Super. He's a hater because he's jealous of Superman. He wants what Superman is. He wants what Superman has. So the way that he gets that as a man is by seeking public approval and public power.
I mean, I know because there's the whole back and forth exchange about the envy. I think the way I was in interpreting that, especially in the realms of jealousy, is like while his haterdom is fueled by it, it's not enough for him to have what Clark has. Clark has to be a non-factor, essentially.
What do you mean? Just be a
So it
non-factor.
so it's just like it's not enough for me to have the power, have the fame, have the respect, have the admiration. You have to not exist because the fact that you exist is an insult. The fact that you are a point of comparison or competition disgusts me. So I think it's like it's that haterdom that is ultimately fueled from a sort of like self-loathing instead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he hates himself. He feels Superman's presence disgusts him
Yeah.
because he makes him feel inadequate.
Yeah.
And I feel like him proving his adequacy, quote unquote, is to replace him as the world's savior. Because granted, isn't that how he is in most other interpretations? Like this motherfucker literally
Yeah.
runs for president
Yeah, yeah,
as like
yeah.
a
No,
kind of
he's
a dick measuring thing against Superman. And in the animated show, part of the reason why they can't fucking touch him is because he is a public face.
yeah. So I guess how it landed with us was very different because at the end of the day, I wound up walking away being like, yeah, it's just like absolutely a D1 hater. I didn't need more to it. I think because I've seen people hate for less, and so while I think there are plenty of more reasons that can give it a little bit more depth, I think it doesn't it still lands strongly with me for the simple fact that like remember how we would always make that joke about like having a villain that just hates a motherfucker for the love of the game, where it's just like I
Yeah,
just can't stand your ass, I just don't like you, bitch.
yeah,
That's Lex. That was the vibe I got from Lex. And I think for me, with a it makes sense to have a simple Clark whose adversary, whose opposite and antithesis is fundamentally a simple Lex. You can go deeper with it. You can go deeper with Clark's ethos and where he gets his morals and things like that from. You can go deeper with Lex, what motivates his envy and haterdom. I think what works is because those parallels that they exist in thematically and character wise are also very simple.
yeah. And I
For
understand.
me.
No, and I'm saying that I understand that, and I feel like for a lot of people, and I I think there's this distance for me, whereas
Mhm.
like when the world is showing up and like people like the Daily Planet showing up and
Mhm.
they are showing up in Jaranport in Superman's place. And I think Molly, the guy who got shot in the head, it was the only time I felt it. But I think these other forces, the news, the Daily Planet, the other heroes showing up in Jaranport, these are all the ripple effects of the presence of Superman. These are the people that
Right.
inspire change, that inspire bravery, that inspire hope. Superman is the beacon that inspires hope. Though their actions are reflection of that light that Superman shines by being part of their lives. And
Mhm.
I think that was James Gunn's intention,
Yeah.
but I did not feel that when I was
Okay.
watching it.
Fair enough.
And I felt that like I consciously recognized it, but that feeling of oh fuck, they're all doing this because Superman's fucking great. I didn't
Mhm.
feel that internally, but I
Fair enough.
recognized it on the text,
Yeah.
and I felt like showing Superman be kind in that second act would have hammered that part of it home for me a little bit.
Mhm.
I would have also liked to see more Daily Planet in general. I
That
would have
that I
liked to
can
have
agree
seen,
with. Cause they have a really good cast for the Daily Planet. That's what kind of sucks. It's like that's a
yeah,
strong cast.
yeah. And if they said it, and also would have just liked more with Superman's relationship with the Justice Gang. Like, I know that him and Guy kind of butt heads. I have no idea how fucking he feels about Hawk Girl and Super and
Yeah, she was
Mr.
cool.
Ritter kind of. She was cool. So, I mean, I know that Mr. Terrific finds him like annoying and idealistic, which is fun. You know, we
Yeah,
get a
it
little
was
bit of
very
that.
funny. Um, I think the issue is when does it hit a point where it might become over bloated?
It already hit that point. That's why these are. I feel like it is. I think it is a little packed because there's so much movie happening. It's trying to include all these other elements that
Right.
feel like it doesn't do service to
Like the
all of
engineer
them in a
and
way that
Bizarro.
feels fresh out of the feeling. Yeah, you have the engine. Like we have a lot of characters. Like they
Yeah.
tell us that Lex Luthor he wants to be king and he has sycophants, but outside of the people in his little work area where he gives commands, I don't really feel that in the movie. Like these are, and granted, this is the first movie in the DCU. They're going to expand upon these things, but I would like to see not only how Superman inspires through his presence the world to be better, but through his person, how he could be better. And I felt like with Amali, where he was like literally being brave in the face of being kidnapped for Superman, that was the only character I really felt like, oh, this man, Superman has impacted this man's life.
I
And
think I
you
kind of
feel
got
the
that vibe
pain.
from Lois a little bit too. Um, where it's like she is naturally like a headstrong character, but I see it with Mr. Terrific as well because he was the one that was willing to kind of go out to look for Clark as well. Because it's like while he sees him as a little bit of a hyper optimist, he understands maybe the value of what he has to contribute to just kind of like the world, and he does more of a net positive. I'd say it exists, but I think to your point, the thing with Mali,
Like I wanted that.
that's a lot more overt.
You know what it is? I wanted that Spider-Man 2 train moment where, all
Okay.
the people are coming and then
The
they put the
city of
mask back on.
Metropolis
You
links
feel the city's
arms.
hope. You feel how Spider-Man's affected these people. And I didn't feel that on like a elevated scale like I did with that movie. And I feel like that was the
Yeah.
intention.
Yeah, and I think part of the difference there is like New York is very much a character in those movies explicitly, more so than here where Metropolis is an environment. It has important characters for sure that do important things to the narrative, to the plot, that are interesting, that have motivations, that have guiding choices, that have fun moments. However, the people within it beyond anyone with like a name is kind of set dressing. So like people get saved.
But it's weird because even though I know it's literally connected, it feels like something that would maybe, and and fucking this is me critiquing. I wish I had an alternate solution to this, but it feels like the first act and the third act are, superhero things that are like happening in Metropolis. The
Mm.
second act, which I enjoy in a vacuum on its own,
Yeah.
is a side quest that brings us back to the main plot.
I mean, it's literally in a pocket dimension.
Yeah,
Like it literally is a side universe from
it's literally
the
like
events of the movie.
I'm trying to figure out who this Hammer of Bravia is. Oh, my parents are not who I believe them to be. Side quest to save a dog and a baby. Oh, okay. I feel better about what happened with my parents. Let's go save the world.
Yeah, and it's like I can even kind of accept Clark's. Now, granted, the way that you described him having the conversations with,
Metamorpho.
yeah, with Metamorpho, I'll be honest, like that's what I was expecting, and I earnestly probably would have liked that better. To that point, it did kind of set for me very fast that yeah, most people would probably like break in the wake of that information. That would not be a unusual observation about like, man, my parents did this and having this little bit of a crisis of faith and identity. I think for me that just indicates that Clark is really, really firm about his uh what's the word I'm looking for? Not themes, his morals. Like his moral center still is gonna prioritize even if he's not aware of it.
Yes.
But I do agree with you. I think
But
it would be
imagine, but
better. It would be better the way you described it. I agree with that.
yeah, but yes, but the thing is, like, the reason why the Justice Gang was here in the first place, right, was
Hmm.
to showcase how Superman operates differently from other superheroes. Is to
Yeah.
show the juxtaposition between Clark Kent's life with the Daily Planet and Superman's life in the context of a larger DC universe.
Right.
And in spite of this being this big comic booky superhero movie, almost universally, the best scene with Superman is that interview scene. You know, Clark
Mhm.
Kent exposed for in this vulnerable scene with someone that's part of his civilian life in a scene where he feels emotionally attacked and he's defensive because of that, because Lois has him in a compromised position, he feels exposed. And I felt like for getting that side of his life with Lois, having that conversation, having a conversation with another superhero where he's physically attacked but showing kindness, to juxtapose that scene, I feel like, yeah, would have made that stronger. But
No, that's a
I
good
know
point.
we're on the same page about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I would have liked to have seen, because yeah, I love people just talking. I love superheroes talking. That's some of my favorite shit.
Yeah, it for me it very much depends on the when and what for me it very much depends on what the purpose of the dialogue is at times, cuz some conversation can be better than others, but I probably am going to be more show me the do of it. It's not to say, I mean,
Yeah, it's
obviously you need dialogue and you need a
of course,
balance of that, but I understand what you're saying where it's just like
yeah,
it's
we don't
nice.
talk to talk. Yeah,
Yeah.
we want our conversations to have intention behind them,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
service our characters.
Yeah, I think we just have a difference in terms of personal preference in terms of how a narrative will execute it. But I think we'd still also want what the other one wants to, because I still
No, for
want
sure.
good dialogue.
Also would have liked to have seen Metamorpho come home to Valeria Stagg. Is that her name, right? Valeria?
Yeah, yeah. The
Because
girlfriend
she was
just
just
kind of
there. She was in the
appeared.
room in the apartment. I'm like, we don't give any more context to what the fuck is happening here.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, yeah. I lean over to my fiance. I'm like, hey, who the fuck was that? And they're like, I don't know. I'm like, oh, okay. I thought I missed something. I didn't, because I never got up from my fucking seat. So it's just like, yeah, that's okay. Before we go over to our last topic, so going into this movie, I saw some people online saying like, the movie's not subtle with its political messaging regarding Israel and Palestine. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Political messaging? I mean, I know we saw that little boy with the flag, and then I saw the movie. Now, the weird thing is James Gunn like wrote and scripted this thing. I'm pretty sure like a couple drafts were done before October 7th. So a lot of people believe that the two countries are more likely inspired by the relationship between Russia and Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
But walking out of the theater, I'm like, that was a now. Granted, many genocides happen in history. Many are
This is true.
ongoing right now. This is a problem. Free Palestine. And also, I walked out. I'm like, my first thought is like, that was just Israel and Gaza. That
Oh,
was
for
just
sure.
what that was. That was like, I'm like, that's just discount Benjamin Netanyahu. But it seems weird because I know when this movie was produced, some of the conflict has been known for literal fucking decades and ongoing. It's just kind of like, oh well, there's no real like political message. It's just about kindness and doing the right thing. She drops, Hawk Girl drops like a totalitarian leader from the sky to his death, which I'm all okay with. But like the there was just zero tact. I can't see it not as anything other than the Israel Gaza conflict. And
Yeah, it's definitely hard not to, and especially in the era that we're living in, where it's overt that these people are starving and outnumbered, and
yeah,
you know, not being considered, even acknowledging that I don't even know if it's fucking considered a war anymore. They're being
no,
starved. They're
it's
being
a
starved out.
fucking slot. It's
It's a massacre.
to quote Sinners, it's a goddamn killing field. Like it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's a
So
human rights violation. It's abysmal, but it's just like for James to blatantly lie in our and play in our face, just like, ah, it's not taking a political stance. But isn't it though?
right, it seems pretty apparent, but
Yeah,
granted, yeah, wars and people fighting over land is, from the dawn of time, damn near.
yeah, like
But
centuries and centuries
it's
of religious
it just
law. And
happens to feel like what is happening right now in a very specific kind
it's
of
just
way that is hard to. not see.
Yeah, not see indeed. It's just really, it's it's just really eerie. Like it was weirdly eerie. It's like it was like when watching Daredevil Born Again, and there were a alarming amount of parallels between the first couple episodes and then what was going on at the American government back in March before it spiraled even further into insanity. I'm like, man, this feels weirdly poignant for a show that was shot and filmed way before any of this shit went down. But
Yeah,
like,
with the criminal Trump or the criminal Fisk being now in
yeah,
office. Yep.
yeah, and Fisk, honestly, and now we're even like getting martial law somewhat put in DC right now with them putting up, I think, National Guard troops down in DC, and Fisk over here putting like curfews. There's curfews in DC. It's getting weird. It's
Yeah,
getting weird, you
too
know?
weird.
Yeah, these like authoritarian regimes that are just like going against these lesser known peoples, just trying to wipe them out, government corruption at an all-time high. It's weird. But it's weird that like watching that, I'm like, oh, that has to be recent events. But that could also just be other still ongoing recent events.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I just kind of wanted to mention it because it was something that everyone noticed leaving the theater, where it's just like, wow, that's just aggressively in anti Gaza genocide sentiment, which I agree with. But holy shit, it was very like very real, which good. People need to take these things seriously, but fuck, I was
yeah.
like impressed. I'm like the stones on this guy, where it's like, yeah, I'm sure you were saying that for the cameras, but then you get in the movie, it's like this is aggressively like pro-Palestinian.
No,
Good
he's
job,
extremely
Chase.
bold with it. He was very
Yeah.
bold with it. And listen, he got his comeuppance, and I'm happy about that. No, if only one of the Justice King exists in real life.
If only Hot Girl were here when we needed her most. To just drop a evil totalitarian leader from the skies. If only. If only someone would do it. Not me. I
Oh, not
wouldn't.
me.
And I would not advocate for any sort of political violence.
Oh no, never.
Just don't do that, man. That's wrong. Killing people's
Yeah,
bad. We can agree that killing people's bad. But if someone were to do it, shit, man, crazy, crazy, crazy.
man,
That'd be real crazy.
be nutty, dude. I don't know what to say.
But
Be fucking nut city.
yep. Speaking of killing racists, you want to talk about sinners? Then get out of here,
Yes,
man. My number one movie of the year. I saw it 3 times in
same.
theaters, and then a fourth time on HBO when I was out of town
Yes,
last month.
I did the exact same. I saw it 3 times in theaters and 1 time at home with my family.
Yeah, we were out of town, and my fiance put on HBO, and they're like, "Babe, they're playing Sinners." I'm like, "No, they fucking are." I came out about 15 minutes into it, and then just stayed for the other 2 hours, and then just watched it through and just sat out there. It's that fucking good. God damn. Just,
Yeah.
I think this is the only
Right.
movie of the year that I think I watched one review for it. I watched no other reviews because I'm like, I don't give a fuck what anyone has to say about this but me.
Yeah.
This is on like one of my favorites of all time. Its
Same.
soundtrack is phenomenal. Michael B. Jordan's best performance. Everyone's acting their ass off. It's shot well. There's so many themes. There's
There's
so
so many themes. It's so rich. There's so many characters that are amazing. Like this movie is my creme de la creme peak of like how you establish a world
yeah,
and a story. Because I'm like, look, this is Ryan Coogler's baby. I'm pretty sure he directed and wrote this.
yeah. He did.
And the fact that, yeah, I'm like, I came out, I'm like, bro, I need more in my veins now. Like, I need like a prequel with the Smoking Stack twins. I
I,
need
I
to know
need
what the
I
fucking
need
Native
that
Americans are
Choctaw.
doing,
I need that Choctaw movie bad.
bro.
I don't want more in
Please.
this universe. I do want it to be a one-off. However, if it is a all Native American BTS that Proximity Media produces about the Choctaws right before, I would watch the fuck out of that. I don't
Oh
care if it's an
yeah.
audio drama, a book, a TV series. That's the only other expanded media I would care for about this, is about them freaking Choctaw.
You wouldn't want to see the Smokestack twins and how they fucking rob the mobs in Chicago.
Nope, I wouldn't. I earnestly wouldn't. I am okay with that being left just ambiguous enough. But that Choctaw story, I think, could have the same level of power and influence that this did,
Mm,
where you kind of like pass it on.
yeah. No, seeing the Choctaw take down some vampires would be amazing.
Yeah.
I want it bad. I need it bad. But yeah, just the characters and the love on display in this movie of music, of black
Mhm.
culture, of community is just all. You can tell that this was made with so much love. Yeah, fuck, this is tough. I'm like,
The scene with the ancestors was a
ooh,
actual spiritual experience in my theater because I
dude, I
saw
almost
it.
cried.
I did too because like I think I saw it in IMAX the first time in my theater on a Monday night.
Uh,
It was packed. It was all it was pretty much all black folk. I say 90%. You could hear a pin drop through that
mm,
sequence because I'm just like you felt it.
yeah,
It's like that was like it was jaw dropping. It was beautiful, and it's just like it. The experiences and some of the reactions to this movie also make me realize that as but don't get me wrong, this is one of the one of the highest grossing R-rated movies of all time, especially in the horror genre. But it does make you realize that there is still a chasm of cultural understanding, I think, when it comes to black media. Because like a buddy of mine, had finally seen it and he gave it a 6.5. He's a white
what
guy, and
out of
I'm just
10?
yeah, he's a white guy.
Uh,
And it took everything in my power to be like, people are allowed to have opinions different from yours. They can, but also in the voice of Kev on stage, to quote Kev on stage, it wasn't for you anyways. It was not for you. It was
no.
not for you. That's not impacting my score. It means that you were not. So, like, I saw the TV Glow, and I was listening to like trans and queer creators, particularly talk about how powerful and impactful that movie was. I am not in that
Mhm.
community. Well, I'm not in the trans community. Um, and specifically a trans narrative. So, a lot of it I understood, but a lot of it I didn't connect with. But I can still appreciate what it was doing. I was still investigating it and engaging as like a voyeur, as a supporter, and things like that. So I can still see that as a very experimental, highly well made piece of media that ultimately didn't resonate with me. I still
Yeah.
wouldn't give that shit like a 6.5. That's still a
No.
really good fucking movie. It just doesn't mean that it hit, but also it wasn't for me anyways.
Yeah.
So it's like there's like a couple lenses that you got to look at it with. So it's like even like we were talking about Superman, I look at it as two ways. I look at it as like I got a common way that I look at it as an average everyday person because I am not a critic. I'm an author first and a writer second, but I'm not a critic. I just am a guy with a microphone and opinions, just like anybody else on the fucking internet. And I view it with like my biased perspective. But it's like Sinners is a knockout on both,
Yeah.
where it's like even
100%.
without my tailored bias, it still excels in every way that I think it can, not
Yeah.
just in like subtle themes, but in overt themes, in like its cultural resonance in particular. People talked about Sinners for months. People are still talking about it if you go to
Hmm.
certain parts of the internet because it's just like it's beautiful to watch. The narrative connects. It has such a nice bittersweetness to its ending. There's so much to extrapolate from its themes of both just like the ties of religion and culture and music as a reflection of those things and how music can be used as a vehicle for narrative and storytelling and how it still connects us all throughout time, all throughout history. It's something that we've always had. Like I tell my boy out here, Cameron, I believe the most dangerous artists out there are musicians because, like, don't get me
Hmm.
wrong, visual painting, drawing, all the other forms of expression, literature, video games, things like that. Yes, they have dynamism, they have imagination, they have flexibility, but something about music, I think because sound is universal, therefore music
Hmm.
is a universal phenomena. There's so much you can do with sound as an objective experience of sensory input that it is straight up infinite to the point where I will hear shit. I will hear people put shit together that has no reason to be put together. And I'm like, musicians are fucking dangerous because they just start experimenting and putting shit together that you would never think to, and it sounds cool. It's different than somebody that's like watching Chopped, and you're like, oh, we gave you a kumquat, two pears, and a ribeye steak. Make us a entree. But a musician is totally different because you're just doing shit. And so you get into the minute details of the cultural representation and impact of music, particularly the direct through line of blues to every American genre that exists today. There is a post going around for a while, and it said if you had to get, it's like you have to get rid of one. You're either losing black food or and all that has come from it, or black music and all that's come from it. I'm like, food is gone. I can eat Chinese, Indian, Brazilian, Mexican. I'll eat country Southern food and I'll work my way back into blackness. It won't take much. Rednecks can use spices too. But if we lose music, we lose every fucking thing. Like it's
Yeah.
like blues, you're losing pop, rock and roll, rap, R&B, country, jazz. Like you're losing gospel. You're losing all that shit. All them Beyonce albums are fucking gone, brother. All them Taylor Swift albums are gone. Your favorite artist, probably listen to blues, probably perform blues. So I'm like,
Yeah.
it's just there's so many goddamn recipes. Fucking Annie, bro. People have been geeked up over Mary. Don't get me wrong. How Mary's hips were moving in that dress was a work of art. But Annie and Pearline, brother,
My God.
you give me beautiful dark skinned woman in the summertime, and I will show you a man more faithful than God himself. Like Pearline sashaying away, which, and I'm glad I watched it multiple times because I thought she was lying when she said she was married. Until I saw her hand, she did have a wedding band on. But at first, I thought she was doing that thing where women that don't want to be bothered be like, "Oh, I have a man, by the way, so don't bother me." Because the way she said it, it's like, "I'm Pearline. I'm married, by the way." It's like niggas like where that is like, well, where you at then? Like she walked to the fucking juke joint to get to that Sammy.
That's another conversation. You're a different man. You're a real one, Sammy.
Sammy was a real one. She walked there on foot. Sammy, wait, I haven't washed. I just want to taste you. That's what a real fucking eater is, brother.
That's right.
That's what a real one is. It's not now you do me. No. The worst thing a man can say to you.
That nigga had him a buffet of all fucking day. Cause you know it's hot in Mississippi.
He tasted the day.
He tasted the entirety of
The entire
human
day.
Mississippi day.
He tasted 12 a.m.
Happily.
He tasted before he woke up to pick cotton. He tasted sunrise and he ate her to sunset.
That's right.
He ate her. So I love the video, the one TikTok that I can't remember the creator's name, but it was like Pearline before where she was being like very dismissive of him. Then he hit that button like that ice cream cone. Just she was on the floor screaming and moaning. I'm like, that's
what up.
Oh my god, she was ready to eating a woman so good that she was ready to die for you. That's a real eater.
He was. And because that was his first time as an eater. So the fact that that's what he was able to do on his first time, I can only imagine.
Man,
the rest of his life.
By the time he turned into Buddy Guy, that motherfucker was the Super Saiyan of coochie eating. Sorry, coos licking. But you shoved your tongue up my coos so hard and fucked me so hard. The fact that was the scene that was going around for a bit. The way this nigga looked around like, hey girl, shut the fuck up. Hey. Yeah, it's like, I know the face of a black man that's not trying to get caught up by a white girl in public. Michael B. Jordan did that impressively well. It's like, hey girl, shut the fuck up. Not scare all the black girls away. Just shut the hell up.
But I keep it low key as hell, right?
Then you stuck your tongue in my coos and fucked me so hard. I didn't know what to do. It's like, I love the meta casting of getting a goddamn octoroon in a movie where I'm just like, Ryan Coogler, how the fuck did you know to look for a person like that? For this specific role that it's like, not a lot of them exist. Not a lot of them are walking around.
Really, is hilarious.
Like, to just see them as like, my granddaddy was half black. It's like, nigga, how the fuck did you know that about? Like, I knew that about Haley Steinfeld. Most people don't know that about Haley Steinfeld. Also, it came to my attention that people did not know what the 3/5 compromise was, and they also don't know what passing fucking means, apparently. Because they think that passing just means that, oh, like, you have white features, or you look white to black people. No, passing means you look white to white people. That's what it's always fucking meant. It's not just oh, you got some kinky curly hair. I'm light skinned. I am not passing to any goddamn white person with eyes. Haley Steinfeld is passing. Halsey is passing. Logic is passing like a motherfucker. He won't let us forget that he's black. That's the only thing.
Halsey was black.
Yeah, Halsey's half black. Rebecca Ferguson, I think, is also half black. Or she's a quarter or something like that.
Rebecca Ferguson?
I might be misremembering, but I believe it's her.
No, fuck me if Rebecca Ferguson's half black.
I might be misremembering, but didn't she? I think she directed the movie Passing. It's based off of loosely inspired by some of her own family. I might be misremembering.
Hold on, you got me fucked up.
I could be wrong. It may be another woman named Rebecca
Hall. What? Of Iron Man 3? Wait, oh, sorry. Can you hear me? Wasn't she in Iron Man 3?
Rebecca Hall. Yeah, Rebecca Hall is who I meant. I said that.
Oh, wow.
I think so. Yeah, she was.
Wow.
Yeah, she was the one that says she was pregnant with a baby.
I still get to watch that. I heard it was good.
Yeah, her mother was born in Detroit, the daughter of an African American mixed race father and a Dutch mother.
She's another
one of them. They one of the dude from Fallout Boy. Yeah, Pete Wentz. He's another one. I'm sorry, I'm airing out all the passing people. The 3 white people that listen to this are going to be very, very upset. But yeah, Pete Wentz, Afro-Jamaican. Yeah, Pete Wentz from Fallout Boy. I'm airing out a lot of dirty laundry, but there's a lot of them walking amongst us.
Who would have thunk it so? Also, random side note, the main girl from Alien Earth, Maria, that's Kyle Chandler's daughter.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that until I think it was right before we were recording, because I'm like, oh, what's Sydney Chandler? And it's a daughter of Kyle Chandler. I'm like, right. Yeah, I guess
she looks like the real version
they
of
do have that whole
Battling.
last name thing in common. Yo, she does.
Rosa Salazar, I think her name
Where's that actress at? Let's see what she's up to. Yes, I don't know what that was her name. Then. Good memory, because I definitely forgot. What is she up to? Oh. She did Brand New Cherry Flavor.
Okay. Did I get that right? Rosa Salazar? All right, pulling out the memory.
Yeah, you were exactly right. She did a movie called A Million Miles Away. She has one coming out called Play Dirty.
Oh, nice.
She's on. But she was on that Pixar show, Win or Lose.
Yeah, but back to Sinners.
Yeah, the one that
I thought that this was an incredible film that I heard for months from every black person I knew. I'm talking about friends I know that don't go to the movies ever. Talking about they've seen it 2-3 times. My own mother was telling me, and my mom does not go to the movies ever. My mom don't like movies. Not she don't like movies, but she won't watch a movie that's older than 10 years old from the current year that they're in. She's like, oh, that's old. I'm like, Mom, dude, you're missing so many good movies that are older than 10 years.
Like, girl,
but come anyway, on. And if I sit her down, she'll eventually realize it's good. I'm like, come on, what are we doing? Anyway, just all the themes about the fact that these are this is for us. This is about culture. This is about celebration.
Yes.
And we see that from the first frame, talking about cult music and blues and relationship to religion, and the story about griots, about how that's what they're called, right? Did I say that right? Griots? Griots, my bad. Griots, and how, from culture.
Oh, griots.
Yeah. Damn.
Yes.
But yeah, how they're passed from, or how they exist in all cultures around the world and whatnot. And it's interesting because there is a part of the Remick, I think the vampire's name is, where it's like, okay, maybe it's this guy who is Irish, who, is another discriminated against group in America. But he's also he also is a white dude, but he's not trying to, he's not going out of his way to be overtly racist, but he is trying to incorporate and take Sammy's culture for himself.
Yeah.
But there's a part of it he's trying to take it because he thinks it's beautiful and I want to incorporate that for me. I want it to be part of my community. But there's also part of him that wants access to his people who he feels is lost, because he feels like Sammy is the gateway, and his abilities are the gateway to accessing his own lost heritage, which makes him a more complex villain than just a vampire, which I thought was interesting because, this movie has so much history and so many teases and little bits of knowledge that allude to a larger, richer history, but only taps the surface because it's all that's necessary. It's not a movie that feels like it's lacking, but it feels like it wants to. It feels like it's rich in harvest, that it could feed you
Mhm.
more, but knows that it's giving you just enough. And I appreciate it for that. And even the way that this movie uses post credit scenes to hit home those themes is fucking beautiful. You know,
Yeah.
the scene where they're in the 90s and uh Stack is like, yeah, that was the last time I saw my brother. That was the last time we were free. And it shows the scenes that were cut out of the film itself, like the primary part of the film where they're preparing and where they're coming together. And that's the only time you see Smoke laugh in the entire
Mhm.
movie, or Smoke smile. Or there's that scene when he's dancing with Annie, because Michael B. Jordan did
Mhm.
such an amazing job distinguishing himself
Yeah,
between the two versions of himself, from the way that they walk, from the
he did.
inflection to the fact that one's always smiling to one's not smiling, the one being about his money to the other one being um more like outgoing and more of like a showsman. And yeah,
There
I
was
do think this is Ranku was
yeah.
this is Michael B. Jordan's best performance for sure, like hands down. And yeah, I just loved it from
Agreed.
top to bottom. The dialogue is incredible. Like, we talked about the you fucked me so hard. You said you're
Ugh.
talking about coos and fucked me so hard. And then
Also, apparently they got like a proper um like linguist for the specific dialect of
wow, that's
Chinese
impressive.
that they more than likely would have used at the time. Because she did like an interview, which was just like I'm like I didn't even think about the fact that there would be differences in accents
That's
for Chinese people that
that's
were
thorough as
like
fuck.
immigrants to America in
That's
these little
like
towns that they would be
the
living in.
research must have been crazy.
They did like the research that Ludwig did for this movie was so deep and
Wow,
extensive.
I did not
He
know
got
that.
credited as an executive producer.
I know
That's
that
how
part. Yeah.
which like he did the soundtrack and he does an amazing job because he's the goat. He's the goat, but he did so
Oh wow,
much. If you watch like the
that's
producer's credit,
nuts.
I'm pretty sure he's an EP.
Good for him.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good for him. You know, it's like get his extra ducats there. But like, it just yeah, like Remick is such a fascinating villain because it's like he
Hmm.
is a victim of white supremacist colonialism and also is an arm of it as a medium. So while he's not racist, he is still using some of
Exactly.
the methods that like races have used to try and like steal culture. You know, ultimately for selfish means. Did your theater almost stone it when old girl was just like, "Come on in, you motherfuckers"? Lisa,
Actually, no,
um,
because
not
this
Lisa,
movie came out,
Grace.
funny enough, while you were visiting me out here, and I didn't get to see it until June. Yeah,
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because I saw it the
so
Monday
theaters were not as
afterwards.
just packed by the time I got to go see it.
Oh,
But when
that's
I
right. Yeah.
reacted to
So
it,
my
I was
theater
like, "Oh my god, are you for real?"
that 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 was my whole. Imagine that, but like 200 people was like, "God damn, bitch, fuck, son of," like everybody was pissed. But it's also like I like the complexity of it because there's like not really a win. You know, it's really crazy. It wasn't until like last month that, and I think my fiance pointed this out to me, that I realized why Stack had never seen his brother's face. Because my first thought was like when I heard it, I'm like that's strange. What are twins? I forgot how vampires work.
What do you mean he never seen his brother's face?
Vampires don't have reflections. So I got why he can't. So at the end, when he said that was the last night I've sorry, not never. What he said that's the last night I'd seen my
Hmm.
brother's. I seen the sun, and last night I seen my brother's face. And I'm like, the son I get. I'm like, well, that's strange. Well, they're twins, so you're always gonna have the same face. Vampires don't have reflections, so he
Damn.
literally has never seen his brother's face since then. Like I didn't think about that, and when that pointed out to me, I almost like started bawling. I'm like, it's so fucking sad. Holy shit. Like that made it 1,000 times worse because you're like, oh, they're twins. But that line is particularly poignant because it's like, even with a twin, because you're now a vampire, you can't see the sun, can't do garlic, but you'll never see his face as long as you choose
Yeah.
to live. And it's your face. Y'all got the same face, and anything you look
Yeah.
at that's a reflective surface, you ain't seeing shit.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That is fucking
That's
nuts.
crazy. I
And to
didn't
think
think
that it's
about it,
even,
but when it hit,
yeah,
I'm like,
oof. It's even subtle, from remembering accurately the end of the movie where you're in the bar with Buddy Guy and you can see the mirror, but you don't see them in the mirror, but you see him in it. Yeah. So ugh.
Damn, I didn't even think about that. That's true.
Yeah,
How'd you
from
feel
being
about
like
Miles
a
Cotton as Sammy? That was his
backup
like first
for her
part.
for to this
I think
leading
he's a
role. He did an amazing
Juilliard
job.
kid.
I thought his
Yeah,
singing was incredible. His acting was really good.
he
Acting
did
against
fucking
the likes
fantastic.
of Delroy Lindo and Michael B. Jordan and standing your own against those two.
Which is fucking crazy. You got to be in there with. I mean, Michael B.
Right.
Jordan. That's one thing. Delroy fucking Lindo, one of our modern
Underappreciated
greats.
Delroy Lindo. And yeah, you guys are all gelling, felt like you were family.
Yeah, you got to hold your own. I particularly appreciate Miles Catton because now I finally have songs I can listen to that are in my vocal range, so that when I'm singing in my car, my voice doesn't have to strain. It's him and Giveon, and that's it. Because no one makes songs for baritones, and no one makes songs for basses. But I can be in my car. Something I gotta tell you for a long time. Like, oh, thank God.
Lied to
Thank you,
you.
Miles. Thank you, Ludwig. Jesus Christ, it's been so long. But I lied to you. I love the blues. Somebody take me. Wumi Mosaku. The fact that people are just getting hip to her. I knew. We remember her from Lovecraft Country. We already were hip with the game.
Yeah.
I already
Yeah,
knew she
and
was
apparently in BVS as well.
Yeah.
She was, so if you watch the extended edition of BVS,
The fuck was she doing
she
in BVS?
testifies against Super.
I didn't.
Is the second
I didn't,
listen,
and I
BVS
won't
extended
actually,
edition is
because that
actually
universe don't matter no
a
more.
decently compelling crime thriller. But she
If you got to extend your
that's the
movie
thing.
an
I
extra
don't think it's the
25
fact
minutes
that
for
they
it to be
extended the
good,
movie
you're
for it
not
to
a
be
good
good. I think they
director.
shrunk it to be sellable. But that's another conversation. But
I agree with you.
yeah, she's in there.
I
And she has
agree
a
with
small
you.
role in it. She's actually has a supporting role. She's in like maybe like 4 to 6 scenes in that movie in the extended edition. Yeah, she's just in
Wait
the
a second,
hearing, but
doesn't
then you
she
find
show up
out
very
that
briefly in
Lex
the
Luthor
original
paid her
cut?
off, and then she was trying to escape, and then she gets murdered. But you find, yeah, she had family, and she was like threatened and blackmailed and
Yeah,
stuff. So
that's
that's why,
yeah.
um, yeah, she lied in court. But yeah,
Yep.
she's even good in that small role. But yeah, Lovecraft Country is where she really got to come out and play.
She is drop dead fucking gorgeous, and I'm so glad that she got to be like a full character. There are some goofy ass
Right? Come on
motherfuckers
now, you're
online. It's
for
like,
real.
is
Be
that
fucking
his
for
mom?
real.
I'm like, I will slap you with a skillet. It's like,
Mm,
they see a full
right.
figured woman, a grown woman, about her fucking shit. I like the fact that she was like doing her hoodoo, which is particular to our people as Black Americans, because you got like Vodun,
I'm gonna be honest. I
voodoo,
didn't know about hoodoos before the
hoodoo,
movie. I'd not really like been
I think
tapped
she
into
was doing
that
a little bit of
world.
root work
Yeah.
in particular. I'd heard of it. I had heard of it, but I wasn't as informed about the differences until I did a little bit more digging. Like I knew they were different because they have different names,
Mm,
but I didn't know like what was specific to who and whose culture. So it is a very interesting and kind of fascinating practice that
mm,
has some very deep ties to slavery in particular. You know, and like the how magic works separate from like magic. So
mm.
there's magic with a K and magic with a C. They're very different things. But no, like Annie, I think it was Creole, whatever
Your
it was that
body
she
still
whispered
remembers me.
in that nigga's ear, talking about.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
like,
Oh, we gonna have to get down to business. I'm sorry.
take me now,
Right.
because
Smoke
we
said,
can't be filming
"Fuck
this
that
and you
open
touch me
window.
and say
Fuck them
that,
kids coming in.
and
We getting down now. We getting busy."
like we got places to be, and I'm trying to make the room stank. I'm trying to make the paint peel, and there ain't no paint on these walls. It's wood. Absolutely diabolical. But oh my god, she was so fucking good
Oh
in this
yeah.
movie. She was the smartest one in there. They would have died
For
faster
real.
if it wasn't for her.
No,
She saved the day. She low key the hero.
she gave him a fighting chance. Right.
She told him what the vampires were and everything. Yeah. How you
The
feel about
memes are
Cornbread
killing
and his
me.
little
All the memes are killing me.
being kind to one another? Well, we out here telling ghost stories, playing games when we need to be in there doing what we need to
Be
do.
kind to one another.
What exactly do we need to be doing?
It be your own people.
Being kind to one another. Be your own people. Omar Miller was really fucking good in this movie. I hope he gets some expansion in his opportunity because he did a lot of different lifting and also I don't know if you had caught it in any of your viewings, but if you watch the bushes when he goes to pee, when you see the
Yeah, I
fireflies
noticed the
flickering,
eyes. Yeah,
you actually
yeah.
see two lights that don't move.
That was a great
I
detail.
caught the eyes. I'm like, that was one note that I really
Mhm.
liked as far as the detail. The vampires had like a glossy eye. They didn't, but they were also kind of like pupilless, which I
Yeah,
thought was really interesting and creative. And they all had different colors. Like Stacks were blue. I think Remix were red. I think Yao and not now Bo
yeah,
and
yeah.
Mary's I think
I
were
noticed
like
that as well.
golden. They were kind of
Well,
yellowish.
yeah. What was your favorite line from the
I'm like,
movie? If you
that's
have a
really
favorite
gonna
line
be
or
what
favorite
I like.
lines.
Ooh,
Yeah, I got a
I'm
few.
trying to think
It's
about
like,
who was saying what. Yeah, I think the first one that is coming to mind is like, Stack, is that you? No, nigga, it's Jim Crow.
that one's great. That one's awesome.
Of course it's
You
me.
can rob banks and trains, but you can't rob this pussy for a night.
Yo, that shit was hard. Why did she say that? You can ride banks and trains, but you
Oh yeah,
can't
we
steal
gotta
this
go.
pussy
We
away for
gotta
a night.
go.
We got to go. Meet me in the closet.
Preacher
Meet
boy, let
me
me
in the
just wash up
closet.
first. I just want to taste it.
I just want to taste it. That nigga was cold. First of all, we
Oh
gotta
yeah,
we gotta
freak
admit
nasty.
this nigga Ryan Coogler is a freak. A
To
freak.
put that in a multi-million
Certified
dollar film
freaky
in wide
deaky.
audiences on IMAX screens, yeah, you wild.
He had tender love and back shots. He had
No,
multiple pussy. This nigga could
he said,
not
"Oh,
get
I can do
off the
more than
topic
this
of
is
eating
Marvel
pussy.
shit." Oh,
He
hold
kept
on
coming
now.
back around to it. It's like you need to lick it like right. Also, here's something interesting that I noticed too. Before we get back to the quotes, have you noticed that except for Creed, all of
Hold
Ryan
on.
Coogler's movie have the same villain? Not antagonist.
This thing has 4
Not
movies.
antagonist. Villain.
We got Namor. We got Killmonger. No, I'm sorry. We got 5. So hold on. We got Fruitvale
No, you got
Station.
5.
We got Creed, Wakanda. Oh, we got Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and
Mm-hmm.
Sinners.
Creed.
With the
Thematically,
even
all
Fruitvale
his movies
Station.
have the same villain, except for Creed.
Hit me. No, I haven't thought about this.
Yeah, it's
Damn.
white supremacist colonialism.
Yeah.
It's the same villain. It's the same villain. Because Fruitvale Station is about the victim of police brutality. You skip Creed. Black Panther is about the impacts of the American experiment, colonialism negatively impacting the black community, and the revenge that happens from that. Same with Wakanda Forever. That's an extension of that. The FBI are the villains in both movies. And then you have this about a vampire who is negatively impacted from the British colonialism that hit the Irish that came over
Damn. I
and
never even
subjugated
thought
black
about
people
that.
in
That's
America.
crazy.
It's the same villain.
He's not paying attention.
People aren't, but also I think
Left
he
and
fights a
right.
white guy in Creed, so it's just white people. I think the guy who
There it
fought Creed was
is.
a white
There
guy,
you
so
have it. Man.
I don't know what to tell you. It's funny, but it's not funny, but it is funny. Okay, what are some other great quotes that we saw? I
This
just want
is
to be
Sammy.
free. Shammy. That was funny. Yeah, that whole river dance sequence outside was very fascinating to watch because it's like the echoes and efforts that Remick was trying to do. Because I firmly believe that he was one of his people's storytellers and he lost that connection. And I think what's interesting too is that he wanted to get to Sammy to get his power, but ultimately it's like if vampirism took it away from you and you turned Sammy, what
Yeah.
makes you think Sammy would keep that connection? Because like I don't think he was thinking it all the way through. I think he really did want to get back to his people by any means possible, but because he is disconnected. But the only way to really
Yeah.
reconnect him would be to kill him and send him
Truly.
to the afterlife.
Like, he's not going to use that for good.
It is you're not gonna yeah, but you're not gonna see your
No.
kinfolk on this mortal coil. There's so many good scenes, so many quotable moments, like Smoke shooting that nigga in his kneecaps for no reason. I mean, for a reason, he was robbing him. So, pa! Can't try
Right.
to
He's like, how you
rob
doing? I
from
was
Smoke
doing good. So he
Bowl and
shot me in
not
the
leave for
ass.
nothing. Valid.
Did you
You
also
taught that
notice
little
that
girl
she was
about
holding the
how to
same
advocate for
flowers that he
herself.
took from the shop and put on
You
his
know, get
daughter's
paid
grave?
what she's owed.
Yeah. Yeah. When he first sees her, she's holding those
No, I
same
didn't notice
flowers.
that. This movie fucking rocks, yo. Start to finish, just straight heat, straight perfection. Oh no, it again. I'm not watching any reviews for this. I'm not thinking. It's like I've done enough critical thinking on this, and to just be madly in love with it. Well, did you notice that?
Watch
Shut
it
the fuck
again.
up. I don't want to hear it. I don't give a shit. Yeah, what? Just watch it again. Watch it 3 more times.
Yeah,
If you don't like it,
ain't
then you have
no
to concede.
nothing's
Maybe
gonna
it's not
change
for
that
you,
now.
bitch. Maybe it's not for you. And I mean, literally, it was not made for you. And what makes this? Because I know in the past we've had those conversations where I'm just like, look, I'm done over like trauma narratives. It has to be a really
No, it's a
interesting kind of
celebration.
story to tell. This is not a trauma narrative. Like it has a bittersweet ending. It's a celebration. It's joyful. So even on like a dark, crazy night, at the end of the day, they still kind of want to save their folk. I mean, they want to save themselves first. They want to live, but also they want to look out for their people. Like a community comes together to fight off demons of the dark. They don't really have an option, but that's what happens. It's make me low key almost want to start it and watch it again. But it's like, you know how I am with rewatches. For the
Yeah.
fact that I've seen this 4 times in the same year, and 3 of those were in theaters. Or by the third time, my fiance hadn't seen it, and they're like, "Oh well, you don't want to come to the theater see it again." I'm
I
like,
would
I
love. Man,
absolutely do
listen, when
want
they
to do that.
re-release this in IMAX one day, I'm there. I'm there, dude.
But boy, I'm gonna be there. I'll be lined up. I'll be right there just like you. Also, the ending. I think I like this
Mm-hmm.
ending better than Django. And Django blew up they slave masters. But it there's a different weight, I'd say. And people are gonna call me a black supremacist or whatever, but it's like between a white director doing that and a black director doing that.
Mm.
Because when a white director does it, I think it's sensationalism, it's flair. It is, I think, ultimately for
Yeah.
the spectacle of it. When a black director does it, it's catharsis. It's like watching a Jewish man stab a Nazi in the chest. It's a relief, despite the fact that you are not the root cause of the systems and powers that be that have caused me harm and violence. You are still a symbol of it, and any moment I can take to destroy that symbol, I will absolutely do so. So watching a bunch of Klansmen get lit up by a lone soldier, blown up by grenades, and then one just shot in his stomach, and I get to see him
Yeah.
get Swiss fucking
It was
cheesed.
extremely good.
One of my favorite scenes of the year. It's cathartic. It's cathartic because I'm just like, because other movies or other directors, they'd be like, they just show him like shoot the gun, and I'm like, please let us see the body, and he showed it. Other directors would be
Fuck
like,
that.
nah, I'll let him live today. No,
Mm-hmm.
fuck that.
Yep.
Fuck Nazis. Fuck
Fuck them all.
rapists. Fuck racists.
And yeah, you
Fuck
see
white
him do a
supremacists.
little
Fuck them
his
all.
little shoot up dance. He's just
So
lit up with the gorilla. Good. Good. Stay like that.
I'm like, good. It's what he
Yep.
deserved.
Yep.
He had the day he deserved. So it's like, what a great ending. And even with Mary and Stack showing up in '97 with a fresh and swagged out Fitz talking to Sam and everything, it's like, I miss the real. You still got
Yeah.
the real in you. This is nice. I don't know. It's like, again, is bittersweet. Even with him saying it's like, even though at least once a week I have nightmares, I still remember that
Yeah.
night.
That's another
And
amazing
for
line
like
from that
24
movie.
hours, I was like the greatest day of my life.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just it's that reminder. It's like nightmares are dreams too,
This is the first
but dreams are
time in
still
a
dreams,
long
and
time.
just long
Yeah.
time. That song was gorgeous too. Last time I seen the sun. Yeah, so it's like that album is dope. In
This
Moonlight
song's
is
pretty good.
probably one of my favorite tracks off it. Haley Steinfeld has a song on it. It's pretty good. It's called Dangerous.
Right.
I was like, hold up, girl. Hey, what a video for this one. Why am I so dangerous to you? I know you wanna let me in.
Right.
I'm like, dang,
Okay.
not the song is on
I see you
theme
cooking,
too.
Haley.
It's like, hold up now. But yeah. But yeah, it's just it fires on all cylinders. It's dope. It's a phenomenal project. I'm proud of what they were able to accomplish with this. God damn, it made its money back.
Oof.
The budget was 90 to
Yeah.
100.
Yeah,
Its
they made
box
them
office
back
was
and then some.
366.
Just let it be. Warner Brothers, don't make Sinners 2. We don't want a Sinners 2. Like, please
Nope.
just let Ryan Coogler be. I know you want to milk all the money you can out of this, but let us have this. Let us have this unique block experience without trying to turn it into a franchise to milk for years and years to come. Because the fact that it's unique and it's a one off is what makes it special. Let's do the Chalk Talk series or movie.
Yep. Just leave it be. Some
I
things
prefer
can
it to
be
be a
great.
series, like a mini series,
If
to let Sinners be,
if you really
the
got
one
to,
movie. But that's all I want.
I'm completely on board with it just being a one-off. That's ideally what I want. However, if they feel like, oh well, we need something else for this, just do a Choctaw spin-off. I think I would want a movie just because I would want something like on the big screen featuring like a native cast and a native crew and a native team. But if it's a show, it's a show. That's the only thing I would be comfortable with. I think besides that, nope, I don't want it. I don't want the fucking Mary prequel or Annie learning
No, don't need it
Hulu
either.
and the countrified South. I don't want it. It's like this should pave the way for other dope one-off narratives. We don't need Get Out 2. We don't need Nope 2. We don't need Sinners 2. We don't need American Fiction 2. We just need more
Yeah,
art
I'll
from
take that
dope artists.
for sure.
It's like, maybe One of Them Days 2. I'll watch that because that's a comedy. But it's like Him is about to come out. It looks really good. I'm probably not
Him
gonna want
too.
a Him too. Although that would be a funny title.
Bodies,
him, her, him. That's good. That's gonna make for a crazy film bundle in a couple of years because we got her, we got they slash them, and then we got him.
We do have the movie. There's a movie called They Slash Them.
Yeah, it's a horror
I didn't
movie
know
about
about that
queer
one.
people at what's it called? One of the camps.
Huh. Yeah, that would be a very different kind of double feature. Yeah. Also, the movie Her.
I think it's on Peacock.
Crazy more relevant
Yeah,
now than it was when it came out.
I remember seeing that in college. I'm just like, man. It's like at first I was like, haha, that's so crazy. People fall in love with AI. And then I watched it and the movie was actually good. Still weird as fuck, but good. And then it's just been like
more
10 years.
relevant
I'm like,
than now than ever
why
before.
is this relevant? What? Yeah, so
we've
okay.
made it almost to 4 hours.
Do it for us. Okay. Yay. Even though we said we wanted to stop at 3, but we added Sinners at the end because we really needed to talk about it because we haven't talked about it.
You can find me at The Real Aaron Alexander on Instagram and TikTok, and also at The Real Rejects on YouTube, and also on Instagram and TikTok.
And you can find me on Instagram and Threads at Will the Greatest. I'm on TikTok at Will.thegreatest. I'm on YouTube also at Will the Greatest. Make sure you like the show, share the show, rate the show 5 stars, like it, follow, subscribe, comment. I don't know, it depends on the platform you're on. Leave a comment with the hashtag AskAce and maybe we will answer it on the show. Let us know your thoughts on anything we discussed here today. It's probably going to be another 2-parter. But yeah, we'll see you guys in the next time we can see you. So until then, take care of one another.
Fuck guys, fuck Donald Trump. Free
Fuck
Palestine.
ICE, fuck Donald Trump. Look out for your neighbors.
Free Ukraine.
Free Palestine. Take care of your neighbors. Water
Yes.
your plants. Drink water.
Call your mom.
Wash your ass.
Call him too. Shit. Support each other.
She misses you. Or your dad. Call him too. He needs it.